Oracle Park on that Wednesday afternoon. Good to be here. Good to be talking to you all. We got Jorge here as well, who's producing on the side of things. We'll get him in on real quick. But reminder, we have the Lee's Air Hotline, which you can call 559-320-1430. That's the way to reach our show. 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. You also have the Lee's Air Weather Check sitting at 77 degrees and sunny here in the Central Valley. Could get up to 78 degrees by next hour, and we'll be touching those 79s, high 70s for the next few days through the weekend. And then, folks, I'm seeing some 90s. I'm seeing some 90s next week, low 90s potentially. Going to feel really, really ramped up. Maybe we're a little out of season for those 90-degree temperatures in the middle of March. But that's what we're going to be dealing with next week for you all. What do we got on the show today? The 3 hours are filled with some guests here. We got the Student Athlete of the Week interview, which we will have in about 10 minutes or so from San Joaquin Memorial High School. Parker Spees is going to be our Student Athlete of the Week, who is getting set to take on their opponent, Bakersfield Christian, in a D2 state championship on Saturday. Brad Resnowski is going to join me as well here at the store, so we're going to be excited to have them on in about 10 minutes or so. In the second hour, we're going to have a really special guest, Leilani Lemus, a Clovis girls wrestler who is a 4-time champ in the state in girls wrestling. I think she's the fifth girl to accomplish that as in the state of California. And so we will look forward to our conversation with her. She was on a college visit last week, so a little bit of timing needed to work out with us in the schedule. And looking forward to talking to her this week after a successful career in high school and high school wrestling. We've got our third hour as well, and we'll allude to it here in a moment, but Fresno State basketball eliminated yesterday, which means that officially closes out the era of basketball for Fresno State in the Mountain West. We'll have a 5-of-5, and I went through the archives, I went through the memory banks, and I have the top 5 Fresno State basketball games in the Mountain West for the men's side from the Mountain West era. That's 2012 to 2013 season, all the way to this year in that time period, and certainly some fun ones to look back and visit to as well. So 3 hours taking you all the way up to Laker basketball tonight, which I believe starts at 7:15 pregame with a 7:30 tip-off in LA against the Chicago Bulls. And we'll have that on there. Over on 790, of course, the Sharks and the Bruins. Yes, my Boston Bruins in Boston. 3:30 pregame on 790 with a 4 p.m. puck drop from Beantown. Good to be here, like I said. Jorge is in studio. Jorge, how are we doing on this Thursday?
Doing good. Just enjoying this weather and, getting ready for this weekend.
You already sweat next week? You ready to ready to feel 90s next week?
No, that's too fast. Coming in too fast.
You give me the energy because sometimes you just come in and you have a haircut. I think you always shave your head randomly at some times, and I feel like next week might warrant that a little bit.
It really depends how it really depends how hot it gets. If it gets too hot and I don't like my hair, growing too much, I'll go. Yeah. Buzz it.
Yeah, you get that buzz cut going, which always certainly works for you. Anyways, we are leading off today with the Fresno State basketball conversation as we see the season come to a close, and Fresno State falls in a very tight matchup with Colorado State, 67-63 at the Thomas M. Mack Center, and Fresno State very much jumping out to a big lead. 9-point lead in the second half was as large as the margin reached for Fresno State, and I bet fans were allowing themselves to believe that they are that the Bulldogs were going to move on and get another chance at playing basketball today. But unfortunately, some sharp shooting from Colorado State started to fall for the Rams, and it was certainly a little bit of a drought that caused the Bulldogs to allow the Rams to get back into that one. Jace Butler is a name that I'm sure a lot of Bulldog fans were sitting there tired of hearing. 6 for 9 from three-point range last night as I look at the stats for Colorado State. And so just an unfortunate way the game ended for the Bulldogs, and it is a valiant effort in that conference tournament game. I thought they could get past it with that first game yesterday, but the Bulldogs come up short. They are going to end their season, and certainly a season that has a lot wanting more from some of the results, but certainly there can be more work to be done. I think a lot of good memories, at least, from some of the tight ball games that Fresno State played. Like I said, some really interesting players that have popped up on the radar here. Jake Heidbreder in his one season, certainly a lot of fans are going to miss him. Wish he was a little bit younger. That's how that's going to work. And then also Deshaun Gorey certainly being a prime suspect for being a guy who can come back and be on this program. So, and that's the goal. That's what's going to be the first domino to fall, is see if Deshaun Gorey is a guy that will be at this program next year. He's certainly got a lot of decisions to make on that. A lot of work to do, though, for this regime with Vance Wahlberg, which Jackson Moore told us yesterday. Certainly feels like he will be back for a third year next year. That's what Jackson Moore feels. That's how I feel. I think actually going in this conference with stability is a better option than trying to find a different avenue here. There's a couple teams, like I said, that are going into this conference next year that will have new coaches. So Oregon State particularly one, Texas State another, and I think stability can help out this program better than others. The gradual build takes so much time in college basketball. I do think more people were showing out to the games this year, and the Bulldogs had a winning record at home this year, which I think people got to realize that's certainly a tick in the favor of what's been going on here. And I know the frustration of it could have been more, it could have been better results. Single-digit losses certainly weigh on the folks, but 3 years always feels like the right move for a regime. I certainly have a stamp of approval of Vance coming back at least for one more year in this program. And I look forward to what you can do. You can now show that you have improved drastically with a full off season. And now there's the next step of showing your work as a coach and what this program can be. And the hope is that showing their work there certainly can allow more prospects to come along the way in this offseason. So the work gets started. The work is on its way here, and I know Coach Wahlberg is hitting the ground running as soon as we speak right now, and it'll be paramount going into the conference with that kind of momentum. So we're looking forward to that. And at least we're not Boise State last night, losing to San Jose State by 10, because yikes. Yikes for the Bronco fans out there. I have nothing better to say about that, just other than we're happy. We're happy that Boise State at least goes down the same. Boise State lasts as long as Fresno State does this season in basketball, and maybe that's a dub we can take, huh? Anyways, all right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have our Student Athlete of the Week come on here. Parker Spees, Brad Resnowski, they got a state title game coming up in a couple days, so we'll talk to them next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, Valley's local sports leader.
Hey guys, it's Phil Bonatti here from Behind the Bench to remind you that every Thursday you can catch my show live from Fashion Furniture. We talk about all the latest topics and news concerning Central Valley sports, as well as interviews with the coaches and players that are
I kind of have the wire sitting in a spot that's charging it right now, so I'm hoping we can keep it in that that kink. So
that's Behind the Bench live from Fashion Furniture, 3 to 6 p.m. every Thursday.
Yeah.
See you there.
Via the phone? Yeah, okay. Okay. I think we'll be okay because I've had it charging the last 15 minutes. Okay.
New York Cubans and New York Giants. Sizes extra small to 7X while supplies last. And remember, Fresno Suit Outlet is home of the 3-suit deal. Just $399 with shoes starting at $39.99. So slide into the Fresno Suit Outlet today on Blackstone north of Shaw. Online at FresnoSuitOutlet.com.
You build Pacific Steel Supplies. For every project, residential, commercial, industrial, or agricultural, trust Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno for galvanized and pre-painted corrugated metal sheets and structural steel components. Built to last and designed to be cost-effective. From roofing... Get your free quote today at Ashland and Parkway, just off or online at PacificSteelSupplyInc.com.
When Jeff Thiessen and Lance Duker started Thiessen Duker Modern Wealth Management in 2003, they had a simple mission: to make every life they touch better. They established Thiessen Duker as an independent firm, not tied to the restrictions of one Wall Street company, so their clients could have access to any investment products that were right for them, and Thiessen Duker could serve their clients the way they wanted to be served. They've done other things differently too, from investing in advanced financial planning technology to implementing a team approach with advisors working together to develop client strategies. And from day one, Thiessen Duker has shared its success with local organizations, making a difference in people's lives right here at home. If you need a financial advisor, or if you are a financial advisor and would like to know more about how Thiessen Duker could make your life better, please visit ThiessenDuker.com. The advisors of Thiessen Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
The one thing I love about spring is it's time for the new golf clubs. They're here. Are you ready to upgrade your golf game? The new clubs have arrived at Roger Dunn, and they're game changers. Check out the new Quantum from Callaway, or the QI4D from TaylorMade, plus the latest release from Ping, Titleist, and Cobra Golf. Come in, get professionally fit, and find out which clubs are built for you and your swing. The good weather's coming, and remember, you're always number one at Roger Dunn.
Introducing The Sidebar, a brand new open-air beer garden at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill in River Park. Experience a new way to catch a game, hang with friends, and enjoy new appetizers, char-grilled burgers, salads, wings with over 10 house-made sauces, and of course, world-famous Me and Ed's Pizza. Thirsty? Try our self-poured taps with over a dozen craft beers, wines, ciders, and craft seltzers. Plus a full bar with an impressive selection of tequilas, whiskeys, and craft cocktails. The Sidebar at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill, now open in River Park.
Horn Barbecue is now open in Fresno's Granite Park, and it's time to eat. From Bay Area legend and Michelin award-winning pitmaster Matt Horn comes slow smoked brisket, tender ribs, and bold West Coast barbecue done right. Bring the family, call the crew, come hungry. And here's a good reason to come down. Visit hornbarbecue.com and redeem $20 off your $50 and up purchase. Limited time only. Horn Barbecue, now open on Cedar between Ashland and Dakota in Fresno. Real smoke, real flavor, right now.
And head coach Brad Rosnovsky. Guys, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. And congratulations, Parker, for being named our ESPN Fresno Student Athlete of the Week. How does that feel?
Thank you. Feels great. Great to have this accomplishment.
Absolutely, man. And Brad's good to have you as well in this busy time. You like being busy, though, at this time of year, I would bet.
It's been a crazy couple days, Phil. Just I'm superstitious. People were saying, hey, Tuesday they were like, do you got hotels, transportation? I said, no, I'll wait till Wednesday morning and I'll deal with it. So the last couple of days has been a little hectic, but fun hectic.
You like that?
Who would love to be planning for transportation, hotels, and food and everything? going to play in the state championship. So it's been a great couple days. We're getting excited.
Absolutely, and we're talking one of your stud seniors here with Parker, and to acknowledge Parker's performance, especially in the week before, a couple double doubles, including a 20 and 10 game on Saturday in that regional semifinal, leading into that regional final. And of course, I know that Parker, you're like a 4.6 student, I think, or something like that up there in the GPA. So you got the intelligences as well. But Parker, how does it feel? You're accomplishing so much on the court, and yet you're accomplishing so much in the classroom. How does it feel to know the student athlete stuff is for real with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Everyone has to come to the reality that someday this ball's going to stop bouncing. And so I want to just maximize everything I have at this school and in future. So just trying to be a well-rounded person. I feel like I take a lot of pride in that.
And Brad, student athlete, is there a better example than Parker?
No, and I know it sounds easy for me to say this right next to me, but and the thing is, Phil, 4.6, I think he's 4.5. I don't even know if you can go any higher than 4.5, but anyways, but it's honors classes. The classes he's taken are pretty excruciating, and so I mean, he's going to UC Irvine, great basketball school, great academic school, so well deserved for him.
Absolutely, and let's talk about the week he had last week, because you have this game you played on Tuesday, but the week before has to be one of the most grueling weeks in basketball you have to think about, right? With the Tuesday to the Thursday to the Saturday, and if you go through that gauntlet and you're playing well, that says a lot about how you can kind of dig deep in a week like that. And Parker got stronger throughout the week when it came to that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday output. So tell me a little bit about what you saw coach out of Parker last week that went through those 3 games.
Yeah, we've done this before where you get your seat on a Sunday night. You got about 48 hours to prepare for that opponent. Thank God we were home. But, we don't practice much. You win Wednesday, we just film and shoot around. Same thing on Friday, preparing for Clovis West. Film, shoot around. But, Parker's been big, man. I think we all, and Parker probably feels the same in the staff, we kind of got a little bad taste in our mouth losing to Bakersfield Christian the way we lost. We were in control of that game. So to get some home games and play them at home and win. But, we're going to go as far as Sajin and Parker take us, really. And they've both been really good these last 4 games.
Parker, tell me a little bit about how you just progressed through that week, right? Because, first of all, how does that week feel as a player, right? When you have those 3 games and it's just such a gauntlet and you're playing 3 opponents that you're not quite as familiar with. They're from other places, right? And so how does that go through? Although Clovis West, you know about a little bit on that Saturday side, but how does that week feel as a player for you?
I mean, yeah, you think just looking at it, 3 games in a week, especially playoff games, they're super taxing, and but there's just so much adrenaline, so much passion that goes into it that I'm just thinking this could be my last high school game ever, and so I'm just taking game by game and doing everything I can to win. But it's been a great ride with my teammates.
Right, absolutely, and each game has its own characteristics, right, and what goes on. And I was there at the Wood Creek game, and that felt like a slugfest, with that overtime game, and it was tough. And you had an opponent on the other side that you might be seeing at the next level too against them, right? So it might not be the last time you saw them, but. Tell me a little bit about that battle at Wood Creek in that game, that overtime game on that last Thursday.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, for me, especially in the last game, I got into foul trouble and actually fouled out right before overtime. But it was great to see my other guys step up. And, of course, that matchup, it's always great to play against, someone my size that, I might be seeing at the next level. So, yeah, I'm super grateful that we came out with the win.
Brad, when Parker has a matchup like that on that game against Wood Creek, right, what goes into what you pay attention to as a coach and what you try to match up with him and what you're telling him as he's going through a game battling with that other player?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it as a staff. We're like, gosh, I think it's Van Lanningham was his name. He's going to Long Beach State. Parker's familiar with him because Long Beach State was recruiting both him and Parker at the same time. So, it was we knew he could play. He's a strong kid, but the other side we say, how are they going to guard him? Parker gets out, stretches out on the 3-point line, so kind of look at that part too. But yeah, he's good. He's Division I basketball player. it looked bleak when Parker fouls out with about 2 minutes to go.
Right.
I think we had the lead, and then we get the last shot and didn't get a good shot off, and then now we got sad faces on the bench. But God, the kid Ty hit a big shot, hit some big free throws. We got some stops, and just turned out it didn't look great, but it turned out all right. Just some resilience that our kids had with our top, really good player on the bench.
Right. Parker, you stay engaged in a game like that when you foul out like that. And so I got to imagine it wasn't sulking. It was very much like, let's keep it rolling, boys. Let's come on. Like, I know I'm not in this, but I know I got a lot of a fight with you guys through that extra 4 minutes.
Yeah, that was an amazing 4 minutes we just played. I mean, I was in it the whole way through. I was just cheering for my guys. I mean, I'm happy that, especially tied 7 points in the overtime. I mean, it's great to see our guys step up and see, like he said, that resilience that we much needed in the playoffs.
Right. You get, and then you get your shining game against Clovis West. And Clovis West, hot team, right? This group was knocking off teams left and right, going on the road and making it happen. And we weren't really thinking much of the Golden Eagles with their seeding and where they were, but they came into that gym on fire. And maybe the familiarity of the opponent, did it create a comfort level kind of weirdly in that game, or was it as tough as it was as a playoff game?
I mean, we knew they were going to give us their best game. They always do. But, like you said, that's not a team you can just walk right past, and, of course, they have momentum going into it. But, we knew our matchups, and thankfully we were able to play them early in the season and have a good scouting report on them. But, we came in, wanting to win that game.
And, Coach, it was Parker's best game statistically, talking about the 20 and 10 and the double-double there. How much was part of that game plan for that Clovis West game flowing through him and the trust you had through him, knowing he was a guy that was going to be able to do what he wanted there against Clovis West?
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple post guys. Parker had a couple inches on both. And, our game plan was to get Parker in the paint, score in the paint. He did a great job. Hit the O glass and, rebounded the ball. And I mean, he's playing right now, Phil, like he doesn't want the season to end. Obviously, win or lose, season ends on Saturday. But, the state tournament's tough.
Right.
Yeah, Albany from St. Mary, we won by 14, but that game was a lot closer.
Yeah.
So, it's he's playing like he wants the season to go on, and it's kind of resonating throughout our group.
It certainly is, right? Because you go back to that Tuesday game, and I watched the whole game against Oakland Tech, and it was a tight game in the first quarter, tied at the end of the first, but then a switch flipped. You guys were jumping in front of passing lanes. There was a lot of great finishes on the other end. Guys were taking contact, and it was certainly a complete effort in that second quarter that really just pushed that game into a different stratosphere for you guys. But what was it like to kind of see that kind of all come together and know that what you were doing was really frustrating the other side? I can go to either of you.
I'll go. Yeah. Parker had 2 fouls.
Yeah.
He got a second with about 5 to go in the second quarter, and I'll never forget he told me, because I think Wood Creek game we took him out, didn't play most of the second quarter.
Right.
But he did say, "Hey, Coach, give me a chance, and when the next time I have 2." So we had 2. We kept him in there. And it just kind of propelled the lead. And we took him out with about a minute to go. Just didn't want him to get his third. I think it was a defensive possession, and I think we ended up outscoring him by about 4 or 5 the last minute. So, we stress it. It's the first thing we work on every day is defensively. And Clovis West scored 89 the game before, and we held them to 50. We've been holding teams in the 50s, and that's really kind of propelled us this year is defensively. We're probably 48 to 50 a game, which is pretty good for high school, 3-point line. So it's a priority, and it helps when you have a 6'9" guy. You funnel everything to him, so that helps too. So, but yeah, just kind of locked in. Oakland Tech's a really good team. I had concerns their athleticism. They shoot it. They were going to come in very confident. And, we really played well. The best game so far this year, as you said.
And so, Parker, Coach says best game of the year so far for San Joaquin Memorial. Like, when you feel like this group is having this momentum at this point of the year, what does it do in practices? What does it do for this group? And as you lead into this game, which you have on Saturday, like, what does it do for players in the times that you're not playing a game as you prepare for one?
Yeah, I mean, right after the game, I remember it wasn't even that we were celebrating that we were going to SAC, is that we want to win SAC, and we really had that confidence we were going to, and I could feel that from all of my teammates. We're all super amped up, and I couldn't ask for a better matchup in the state championship against Bakersfield. I mean, we lost them twice during the season. 2 games we should have won, in my opinion. But we know exactly. We know their offense in and out, and we're going to be ready for them for sure.
How funny is that, huh? You're getting Bakersfield. We were all kind of hitting it. I hinted at it last week, Coach, with you on their interview about Bakersfield Christian on that other side of the bracket, Lumen. And guess what? Here we are.
Well, Garrett Brown, he's actually a good friend of mine. Garrett and I are real close. We bounce stuff off each other. Just got to know him the last few years. He texted me Sunday night after we got the seedings, and he said, "We'll see you in SAC." And I was like, "Whoa." I'm worried about gathering film right now in St. Mary's, Albany. And but, yeah, he knew something. So, we're both familiar with each other. They know what we're going to do. We think we know what they're going to do. So it's going to happen on the court. And, I mean, there's so many, Parker's playing in the second, state championship here. And there's guys that don't even make it. So we're fortunate. We're not taking it for granted, and we'll definitely be ready.
Right, and it's funny because there's this weight, right? If you get to SAC, you want to represent Central Section, right, a little bit. There's a lot of people who are like, come on, Central Section, let's see if we can get one for it. Now, either way this game goes, Central Section's taking the title home on the boys' side, right? And so maybe does that feel different now kind of going in, knowing that, like, there's not a weight of that, right? It's for Memorial. It's for our crew. It's for our people who root for us day in, day out. It's not about the section anymore. It's just about what we can do for our program. Do you feel that a little bit differently, Parker?
Personally, I'm a competitor. I want to get back against them.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's great to see 2 section teams, in the state championship. That's great, and some on the girls' side as well. That's great to see.
And Brad, you had that experience, right? So maybe you can speak to that a little bit. What I was alluding to, right? Because when you go up and you face a different team from a different section, there's a weight to that. But this game doesn't necessarily have that weight. Is that kind of
yeah?
true,
That's a great way to put it. I think over the years, the Central Section has been scrutinized. We haven't really done well in the state playoffs.
Right.
I'd say within about 4 years ago, I know Carruthers girls always in Craig.
Right.
Craig's always been very competitive at Clovis West, but boys' side really, hasn't done much over the last 4 years. We won one 4 years ago. I think Fresno Christian and Centennial, Bakersfield both played last year. Obviously, us this year. I know I'm missing some teams out there, but we haven't had a whole lot of success. So I think it's kind of cool knowing Central Section boys are going to take home a title, whether it's us or them, and obviously same with Central Section girl D2 and hopefully Clovis High girls. So I think the Central Section is people are starting, okay, they got some teams there, and it's all about the seeding. You got to be seeded right, I feel like.
Right.
The going on the road is tough, but
right.
Obviously we got a great seed, and we took advantage of it.
Isn't it funny how it laid out from the D1 playoff seeding to you guys playing in a quarterfinal in a D1 Central Section, and now this is what the matchup is at state? Is that a little strange to you, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like, 4 years ago we lost a heartbreaker in the semis to no, it was in the quarters to St. Joe's.
Yeah.
Just got a tough break and had the 2 weeks off. Ended up getting a 6 seed in Division II. I mean, who knows if we beat Bakersfield Christian in the playoff game that Tuesday? Even if we were to lose to St. Joe's, we'd probably go D1.
Right.
It's just kind of how the ball bounces, and got the number 1 seed. And like I said, we took full advantage of it.
Parker, this opportunity, right? How do you, as a player, because this will be your first time playing a Golden One, right?
Second time.
Yep. Second time. Okay, second time. So for you, in imploring that familiarity, you were so young the first time, though, right?
Yep.
So is there any differences to your prep from this time to the last time? And how you and maybe like Sajin, right, on this roster, like you guys have been so close, is there a difference to how you're prepping for this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, we can't wait. It's just great to know that we're the ones leading the charge, and really taking accountability for everything that goes into it. And I've been talking to a lot, over the past few days. We can't wait to get another ring, so we're super excited.
Yeah. Well, Parker, we're excited to see what you do, obviously, at the next level and everything after this game, of course. And I know the focus is on this game. But, just for the people at home who know you a little bit, maybe get to know you, tell me a little bit about, like, when basketball was kind of the sport that grabbed you a little bit, right? I know you obviously the height. You grew into it. But you weren't tall forever. So when was basketball kind of your first love there?
I mean, I started playing basketball ever since I can remember, and I mean, I've just been playing it so much. I mean, of course, I played volleyball and baseball and all the other ones, but something about basketball. I mean, it just stuck with me. I mean, of course, the height helped, but being able to. I remember starting on early in my club season. I would 5th grade starting then. I would just travel almost every weekend too, and so.
Oh no!
And so, yeah, that's quite unfortunate.
You're out.
We just had. Do we have a tag or did something just happen?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Man.
Yeah, that's just part of the game. But
you might want to explain it, Parker.
Yes, yeah, Parker.
Yeah,
So
Parker's a little
we
down
just,
right
we just had a classmate walk up with a water gun and just got Parker right now. So Parker, was that a tag situation or?
That was a tag situation.
I know. I played these games in college. I know.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about bringing it on set, but I was like, I got to be professional.
Yeah.
Didn't go too well.
I would have protected you, man. Daniel could have stepped in front of it here. He could have done a better job over here as security over here. But
yeah, you should have tackled him.
Yeah, we'll have to explain over here anyway. So, well, Parker, I don't know how to.
I hope he's going to be okay for Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'll be good.
It's really affecting him here. No, Brad. First time you met Parker, tell me about it, and you got to know him as a basketball player.
Well, the funny story is, Phil, I used to play basketball at 5 in the morning with his dad at Buchanan. They used to have runs, and that was about Parker was 5th or 6th grade, and Franklin would bring him along.
Yeah,
that's the first time here's this kid, wiry kid, and I'm thinking, okay, this kid must really like basketball. He's here at 5 in the morning.
Right.
First time I met him, but then obviously when he got on campus as a freshman, I mean, he starts at home. Great, Lisa Franklin, great people, and he just blossomed it. I mean, he's your atypical student athlete, Phil. Just great grades and on and off the court, revered at school. So I'm gonna miss him. I love these 4 seniors we got. I'm not looking forward to win or lose Saturday. Just not having these guys. So
yeah.
But yeah, he's resonated to a great young man.
Absolutely. And Parker, you're soaking in that last moment. Like I said on Tuesday, we were talking off air about playing in that gym, and that gym's got so much character. What are you going to miss specifically about Memorial's gym?
I mean, just the energy. I mean, it's really easy to pack that gym, and I felt it a lot during state playoffs. We brought the whole student section, and it was just electric every game. I'm super grateful for, all the fan base coming out and supporting us. But yeah, it just doesn't feel real yet. But I'm just soaking it in. From
Jalen Green's jersey retirement all the way to potentially a state title, ain't that going to be something about how this season could go for you guys? Wouldn't that be quite a story, right, Brad?
Yeah.
But I won't waste any more time here, and maybe this will help brighten the mood for Parker because I got some gifts for him here.
I don't know if he's going to practice today.
I'll be good.
So we got some gifts for you here, courtesy of a lot of our sponsors for the Student Athlete of the Week. I got a new shirt for you because yours is wet right now.
Yeah.
So we'll got the Student Athlete of the Week shirt.
Thank you.
You're a little taller, so hopefully that'll work on the height side.
It'll be good,
things. So I got some KFC for you here, a little KFC voucher for you. I got a voucher from Toledo's Mexican restaurant. If you've ever been there, that's fantastic. Family 4-pack that you can feed the family with. No basketball season left for Fresno State, but hey, baseball.
All right.
Here, so why not some baseball tickets I think I got you on a Saturday there. And then this is yours. Daniel, you want to pull up that cooler? So we got a cooler full of ice and some milk from Raw Farms. You drink milk, Parker? You look like you do.
Yeah, I do drink milk.
Yeah, you gotta keep those bones strong, right? So that's your supply courtesy, and there's a information card at the top. We're actually going to give that to Coach. Because Coach, folks at Raw Farms, they can do a little team drop for your group. So if you want to get some Raw Farm milk product to the guys, certainly that'll help everything in their athletic achievements.
Great, thank you, Bill.
Absolutely, and of course, the last but not least, I think you saw Julius get this last year. So we got you a big old check that says your name on it, Student Athlete of the Week, and this is for you to take home.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gave this to Julius Olin-Roger last year.
Yep.
So now you are on the list here.
That's awesome.
And Brad, I think you recall last year we had a Student Athlete of the Year. Yeah, we can put that down.
Yes.
Somewhere. I'll just hold that. There we go. Until we wrap. But we had the Student Athlete of the Year banquet, which is still coming at the end of the year. We're going to look at June, early June for the date of that, and we'll get you the information. And hopefully we'll see you guys there at the Student Athlete of the Week, Athlete of the Year banquet to celebrate a fantastic year of Student Athlete of the Week. So, cool. That's all I got.
Phil, I wanted to thank you, first of all, for having us on. And I know you had a lot of games to choose from this last couple of weeks, and I saw you at least 2 or 3 of our state playoff games. So I know Paul was there, and I really appreciate that, the support, you coming out to watch us. Appreciate it.
It was really fun watching you guys play. I'm going to try to see if I can make it to Sacramento. Unfortunately, I may not be able to, but I will try to follow from afar for what you guys do. And best of luck. And I'll be completely biased. Let's see if you can beat the Bakersfield team down south. Huh?
I got a lot of respect for them, but we're hoping we can pull it off.
Third time the charm, baby. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Best of luck. Enjoy the travel. Enjoy the weekend up at Golden One Center. It's going to be a blast. And best of luck on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
All right, guys. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more show right after this on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
At Clausen Honda in Fresno, you're not just getting a car, you're stepping into a full-service experience. From the latest new Honda models to certified pre-owned vehicles, a cafe to grab your morning coffee, and a team dedicated to making you feel respected and well-served. Whether you're trading in, buying, or scheduling service for your ride, Clausen Honda has you covered with transparent financing, a full-service center. Drive in today and see how easy getting behind the wheel can be. Clausen Honda at 6346 North Blackstone Avenue in Fresno.
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at banyantreefresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
Sports fans of the Central Valley, are you ready to step up your game day grilling? Step into the Butcher Boss and discover winning flavors the champions crave. Ask about their 5 for $35 deal, where you can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
Fresno State Baseball and their hard-hitting Diamond Dogs will be lighting up Pete Biden Field at Bob Bennett Stadium all season long. Right next door will be your Fresno State softball team at Margie Wright Diamond. The Bulldogs want your community support, and we all know Bulldog baseball and softball isn't the same without the Red Wave. Come out and support your Diamond Dogs as baseball and softball compete for another Mountain West championship. And remember, go Dogs!
More flavor, more rewards, more reasons to dine with Lynn's Restaurant Group. Introducing the LRG Elite Program. Members earn 5 times back every time they dine at Spicy J's, J-Pot, Oiza, Hino Oishi, Ramen Hayashi, Lynn's Fusion, Ichi, Shabu, and JT. Enjoy one free appetizer or dessert every day, a birthday bonus, and a members-only anniversary reward. Join for just $18 a month or only $198 annually plus tax. Sign up in-store or on the Lynn's Restaurant Group app. LRG Elite. Dining elevated. Terms apply.
Citizens Business Bank is a proud sponsor of the Fresno State Bulldogs. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We proudly support California's thriving small to medium-sized businesses. Our relationship-based approach and straightforward business model set us apart in the financial services industry. We are a banking partner that understands your industry and your company. Whether you're expanding operations or planning for the future, Citizens Business Bank is here to help ensure your banking experience is smooth, convenient, and aligned with your success. My team strives to build long-term banking relationships by getting to personally know you and your business, and then providing you with a wide array of powerful solutions customized to your unique financial needs. Visit cbbank.com to learn how Citizens Business Bank can help contribute to your success. That's cbbank.com. Citizens Business Bank, N.A., Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow. You always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
Fresno Valley's local sports leader. Big thanks to Parker Spees and Brad Rosnowski for joining me in the last segment. What a great interview. The first time I've ever had that happen. We figured out the name of the game they were playing. So Parker gets scored by a water gun during our middle of our interview from one of his classmates. Assassin is the name of the game. And, yeah, I remember playing that in college. You either had like a sticker or a marker or some way to get them out, and you had a way of protecting yourself, or there was no there was inbound zones or out-of-bound zones or protected situations, and whoever got down to the final or ended up being the last person standing ended up winning a pot of money or something like that, I think, or something like that, how it went. But Daniel here now with us for a little bit. And, Daniel, you remember that kind of game, right? You were playing in high school? Or
Yeah, I played it in high school. I'm surprised because usually there's rules where, like, if you want to protect yourself, you can wear, like, a floaty or something. He didn't even have a floaty, so.
That's what he said. He said he had goggles in the car. He had goggles in the car. And he said, "No, I'm not going to get got while I'm here. I want it to look professional. Me not wearing goggles right now." And of course,
it's his biggest mistake.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Jorge, do you know what I'm talking about? Assassin. You ever play Assassin before? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. It wasn't called like that back in the day when I was in high school, but yeah, we definitely played that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think Assassin's all I know. And this is back in like 2013, 2014 when I was playing in college. Gosh, now I'm back to like those days, and that sounds like fun. I want to play again.
We played it with water balloons instead, but it was just
that's a little brutal.
Wow. Yeah, it was a lot messier.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like you're about to like have something important to do the rest of the day, and you're a little soaked from a water balloon.
You know what? When we would do it the last week of school. That's the last week, right, when we, like, have nothing to do. Or, like,
right.
we were done taking the test, and we just, like, go out and get water balloons and, yeah.
I just remember markers. I think mark on the hand was how you got them. And I distinctly remember some people chasing some people. But if you're inside a building, like if you're inside a classroom, you cannot get people. Or if you're talking with a faculty member or something, like you can't get caught. Like there were safety spots I certainly remember being.
I think when it was mine, it was you couldn't go into the person's home unless you were allowed by someone, or it was like it couldn't be if you were at a practice or if you were at work, but like as soon as you were off work, you could do it. It was basically free game, and it couldn't be on campus either because I remember they had banned water guns.
Yeah. Man, I miss playing, and I miss the collusion sometimes. They're like, hey, I need you to do this so I can get this person. And either you find out who your friends were or you found out who your friends weren't.
Yeah.
From that game, right? Did you always collude?
I would try, and I got it a couple times, but then, like I said, like the time I finally got out was because I was being careless when walking home.
Yeah.
I was walking home from school. Next thing you know, a car pulls up next to me, and I just get shot by a water gun. I'm like,
jeez.
I'm like, damn.
Careless Daniel. Can't make it happen. Anyways, so sad to Parker, but I think he's got more important things to think about here, which is a state playoff game in a couple days. We have some breaking news here on the channel. Kyler Murray has agreed to a one-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings, and now things get interesting with Minnesota, right? Because here comes Kyler. looking to restart his career, and he was certainly a guy who a lot of people had circled as tied to Minnesota because of the situation and because of what J.J. McCarthy didn't do. 9, yeah, I beat you to it, Daniel. And unfortunately, I think 9's time might be done because Kyler certainly feels like a better option. Is it enough to allow Minnesota to be a team that's going to go win a title? We'll see. I think that defense is actually pretty legit, and the fact they got like 9 wins out of a team that played Max Brosmer, Carson Wentz, and J.J. McCarthy says something about how close they can be if they actually had some decent quarterback play. And I'm not ready to give up on a Kyler Murray situation being totally done and dead. He could be the next send-off guy who ends up actually being something that works out. I think it's a favorable division. I think it's a favorable place to play, Minnesota. There's certainly favorable targets he could throw to. It's much better than what he had in Arizona, I would lead to believe. So I feel great if I'm a Minnesota Viking getting this one-year deal. Kyler, I always argue, my philosophy in sports is there is never a bad one-year deal.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's always just a prove-it deal. If it works out, it works out.
You cannot lose with a one-year deal.
Yeah, and I like it. I think at the end of the day, I think they're going to let them battle it out. In the preseason, they're going to let JJ and Kylie battle out. But I really do expect Kylie to probably take that number 1 spot. And I'd be happy to see him. I've always been a Kyler Murray fan. Like, I want to see him succeed. I know he had a lot of issues in Arizona, whether it was him or just how the team was with him. And I don't think everything was favorable towards him sometimes. And I think a fresh start is what he needs.
Yeah, it'll be certainly what he needs and what he'll need in his career. And I think a fresh start for Minnesota might make sense too. And what the logistics are for J.J. McCarthy and what his career can turn into, I always felt like it was a little on the optimistic side of what he could be, and I'm not really a fan of his and what he has shown so far. So feels like a move that the Vikings can win with, and with Detroit having obviously the questions they have, losing some of their talent, and with Green Bay losing a little bit of their talent, and us questioning what's going on there. And Chicago maybe regressing just a little bit because of how tough their schedule can be this next year. And they certainly pulled some rabbits out of their hat last year with some of their wins. I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here looking at a steady Minnesota team maybe being the team that's winning the NFC North next year as opposed to those other 3 candidates.
Yeah, I still think it'll be a weaker conference. I think not weak enough that it'll be one of the worst conferences, but I don't see any of these teams being more than like a 10-win team. But I think that's good because it gives them an ability to achieve a goal to make the playoffs, which is just winning the division. And for J.J. McCarthy, I mean, you know this yourself. I've always been a fan of J.J. McCarthy, but I really think that what was supposed to be his rookie year, him getting hurt, I think that really diminished a lot of his chances of having some sort of shot in Minnesota, just because that injury took him out the whole year, and it took him a whole year out of football basically because he couldn't do much on a it was torn Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just being
torn ACL. Sorry, he had the ACL.
Yeah.
You're talking to McCarthy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ACL, but just being out of football for a whole year basically after winning a national championship, it's gonna do a toll. You're gonna not remember as much. I won't say not remember, but you're gonna be rusty, I should say.
Absolutely. So, not much more to say. I thought he could have been a Raider if we got to a certain situation with that, but. And I certainly don't think that if the Raiders didn't end up with that first pick, I was sitting there looking at Kyler a little bit at the end of last year, but now Mendoza was going to be that situation. Although Kyler in a Raider uniform would just make sense. It just does. At some point in his career, he might get there.
I think I see him in an A's uniform before a Raiders uniform.
Hey, they still have his rights. If he ever wants to go back to baseball, they certainly will have his rights. They said that if he ever thought about baseball going back, he would go back to the A's organization. What, 9th overall, I think they drafted him?
I want to say.
Speaking of baseball, just to acknowledge you here, Fresno State baseball back in action starting tomorrow. They've got Nevada. Conference play begins this week, so the Bulldogs will get going this week at home, I believe, and should be a fascinating series this weekend with the Wolfpack. So if you're checking that out, that would be certainly a great series for you to check out. Bulldogs have lost 4 in a row, all on the road, but they certainly played better at home. A 5-3 record at home. Would love to see the Bulldogs bust out of this slump starting tomorrow. And these young guns can certainly do that. They can ramp it up here. 6 o'clock tomorrow, 3 p.m. Saturday, and 1 p.m. Sunday. Reminder, by the way, why I'm kind of giving this out right now is because we won't have a show tomorrow, so I just want to acknowledge that here. No show tomorrow due to the FPU baseball action we have. We are going to have a show back on Monday, though, 3 o'clock. So that's why we're going to kind of treat today's show a little bit as the looking into the weekend show for you folks here as well. So already an hour down. Holy cow. We got to get rolling here to hour number 2. World Baseball Classic. Some fans are feeling a certain way about their team, aren't they? We'll talk about it next on 1430 ESPN.
ESPN Fresno is proud to bring back the Student Athlete of the Week. Each week, we'll honor a local high school standout for their performance on the field, in the gym, or on the court. It's our way of celebrating the hard work, dedication, and talent of Valley athletes who give it their all. And it all leads to Student Athlete of the Year. Do you have an athlete you believe is worthy of this award? Enter them in at 1430ESPNFresno.com today. The Student Athlete of the Week, shining a spotlight on the stars of tomorrow.
From the roar of Valley Children's Stadium to the heart of the Red Wave, Fresno State football ignites the Valley, and Precision Civil Engineering is proud to help power that momentum. Named 2024's best engineering firm by the Business Journal, Precision Civil Engineering delivers top-tier planning, surveying, and design building, the backbone of the Central Valley. Proud partners of Fresno State Athletics, because when the dogs rise, the Valley rises. Go Dogs! Visit precisioneng.net today.
This tax season, make your refund go further at Fashion Furniture. Get up to $250 instantly toward your furniture purchase. From living rooms to bedrooms, even new outdoor furniture for spring, now is the time to save. Make your tax refund go further with up to $250 in instant savings towards your purchase. Only at Fashion Furniture. There's nothing like it in all of California.
Baseball is in full swing at Fresno City College, and the Rams are ready to add a winning tradition. Since 1948, FCC Baseball has built a championship legacy, earning multiple state titles, dominating conference play, producing more than 150 draft picks, and sending 18 players to the majors. That tradition continues this spring. Catch this season's exciting and winning team as they go after another Central Valley title. Bring your friends and family and experience Rams baseball in action. Visit FCCRams.com for schedule and spring sports information. Fresno City College. Go Rams.
At Helena Agri Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior products. Helena's Agri-Intelligence program uses in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and Agri-Intelligence.
Hey, it's Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench. A new season means big plays, hard hits, and injuries we track every week. But injuries don't just happen on the field. When life knocks you down, you need a strong team behind you. That's Davis & Van Wagenen, attorneys at law right here in Fresno. Davis & Van Wagenen fight for Valley families hurt in accidents, and you don't pay unless they win. It's a winning game plan from Davis & Van Wagenen. Visit davisvanwagenenlaw.com. Davis & Van Wagenen, your hometown injury attorneys.
Cyber criminals stole $10 trillion from U.S. businesses last year. Did you know that 75% of businesses hit with ransomware do not survive? Is your company protected? Could your company survive a real-time cyber attack? Get a free consultation from M-Cubed Technologies today. Our team of cyber professionals are here to help and protect you from this real threat. Don't fall victim to cybercrime and risk losing your business. Contact M-Cubed Technologies today at mcubedtechnologies.com.
Are you ordering with DoorDash more than twice per month? In that case, let's talk about signing you up for Dash Pass, the easiest way to save money on what you're already ordering. With a Dash Pass membership, you can enjoy unlimited $0 delivery fees from thousands of restaurants, grocery, and stores.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
Pro Bowler signing a one-year deal with the Vikings. Murray released by the Cardinals at the start of the new league year. Played in just 5 games last season, throwing for nearly 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. His new deal including a no-tag clause, setting Kyler up for another run at free agency after the season. Meanwhile, linebacker Dre Greenlaw heading back to the Niners on a one-year deal for $7.5 million. Greenlaw released by the Broncos after spending only 1 season in Denver, played in 8 games around injury with 43 total tackles. He spent the first 6 years of his career in San Francisco. Niners edge rusher Bryce Huff announcing his retirement from football. He turns 28th next month. Bills are signing former Bears safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson to a one-year deal worth up to $6 million. Conference tournament week, just one ranked team in action right now. Number 18 Purdue and Northwestern in the third round of the Big Ten tournament. The Boilermakers out to an early 15-point lead, 28-13, 8:19 to go in the first half. Trey Kaufman-Wren with a Purdue high 8 points. He is off to a really good start, 4 of 5 from the field. Nick Martinelli with a Northwestern high 8 points in that one. Miami, Ohio no longer undefeated, still in Joe Lunardi's last 4 in after falling to UMass in the MAC quarters.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Friday, ESPN's Brian Windhorst breaks down the NBA stretch run. The actor John C. McGinley joins us in studio, plus what's more likely. That's Friday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this wonderful Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock hour here. Second hour of our show going up to 6 o'clock ahead of Laker basketball. Laker basketball at 7:15 with a pregame that time at 7:15 with a tip-off at 7:30 against the Chicago Bulls, who are in town. We're at Fashion Furniture. We're live and now introducing here at Fashion Furniture. You got the Outdoor Living by Fashion. Beautiful outdoor furniture is now available. It's a part of that Horizon Hall collection. You want to ask about their outdoor collections designed for your lifestyle. The weather's heating up and you want to take advantage. Finance it. 24 months deferred interest available. OAC. A portion of these the sales proceeds during the month of March here at Fashion Furniture will be donated to that April honor flight here in the Central Valley. So take advantage today. Fashion Furniture, nothing like it in all of California. So good to be here. Good to be alongside you all. And going to be interesting to pay attention to how baseball is going to be played here in the next, 6 days now as we get closer. 5 days, I guess, now. Just 5 days to play out the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in the WBC. And what some drama has been provided by this WBC so far. And we will see what will come from the knockout stages now, because it'll certainly provide some. But let's recap last night's action, because on the brink was the United States baseball program, and there were certainly situational, situations. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Situations that baseball was U.S. baseball was trying to root for certain things coming out of Italy and Mexico, and so Italy with a win, no matter what, was going to allow the United States to go in. Mexico scoring 5+ runs and winning in regulation was also going to allow the United States to go back in. And Italy just really taking it to Mexico last night. 9-1 the final. Vinny Pasquantino is going to live in the nightmares of Mexico baseball fans for quite some time. I got one of the biggest champions of Mexico baseball sitting right next to me, Daniel, who now has to root for the United States the rest of the way, I would imagine, right? Your boy Aaron Judge. Our boy Aaron Judge now. How do you feel after a 9-1 effort from your Mexico team?
Quite frankly, I was distraught, surprised, and disappointed. I did not expect that from Italy. I really didn't. I mean, I seen what they did to Team USA the day before, but I did not know Pasquantino?
Yeah, Pasquantino, the Pasquatch, the Kansas City baller.
I did not know he had that in him. I did not know he had a 3-homer game in him. But it was crazy. But honestly, like, no hard feelings, I guess. Like, it's a tournament. The tournament's for fun at the end of the day. I still love this tournament no matter what. And I'd like to see Italy go far. But I think I will end up being a Team USA fan now for the rest of the tournament just because of Judge. But I would not be upset with a DR win at all.
Well, DR seems to be the team that's the favorite, right? Because they ended up beating Venezuela 7-5. A lot of little sketch there at the end. Venezuela was trying to make the comeback. But USA set up now. We have the matchups, and we are going to see Korea take on Dominican Republic at 3:30 tomorrow. That's in Miami. We have USA versus Canada in Houston at 5 p.m., right on the Fox National Station there, KMPH, if you're keeping score at home. And then on Saturday, you have Puerto Rico and Italy at noon in Houston. At 6 p.m. prime time, you have Venezuela-Japan, which I think is an underrated matchup. That might be my favorite matchup of the whole tournament. Then we'll have Sunday, the winner of Korea-Dominican Republic taking on USA and Canada. If we're projecting, really, it could be Dominican-USA for a spot in the final. Wouldn't that be something, DR?
That is going to be the most culturally significant game ever.
Yeah.
I can already see it. I really do already see it.
And Italy, Puerto Rico winner, and Japan, Venezuela winner plays Monday for a spot in the semifinal. And then I believe they play like a third-place game before the final on Tuesday. Let's see who gets that third place in the World Baseball Classic. I can't wait to see how this will all play out, of course. But lastly on Mexico, a reminder, by the way, this loss last night was so devastating, by the way, because not only does this knock them out, of course, but this does not qualify them for the Olympics, and now Mexico baseball does not play in the Olympics, which is right as close as you can get to Mexico regionally, where the Olympics are going to be in L.A. in 2 years. That's got to be a stinger for Mexico baseball fans that they cannot watch their Mexican team play in the Olympics in 2028.
It really does sting. I mean, I looked at it, and there's still like one last qualification event, but it's like nobody knows what that is yet. So, as far as we know, Mexico will not be competing in the Olympics. But I'm no stranger to this disappointment, especially with Mexican national teams, especially when it comes to soccer, because it's the exact same disappointment they give us.
So which game are you most excited about? Puerto Rico, Italy, Venezuela, Japan, Korea, Dominican Republic, USA, Canada. I, for one, just the irony of USA-Canada being a matchup here on a Friday for baseball, where if the United States loses that game, it will undo all of goodwill that happened in the Olympics. Not less than a month ago when the United States won gold. Boy, Canada will take some victory laps on victory laps if they win in that game over the United States in the America's pastime. Isn't that something? So I know United States-Canada will be electric. I think Venezuela-Japan feels like the aesthetically best matchup if you're thinking of how the styles will play against each other and what Venezuela can be in that game. So I'm looking forward to that one on a Saturday night, and rightfully so. They do put it on a Saturday night. Then I would probably go Korea, Dominican Republic, just to see the dominance of Dominican Republic, because I do think they are the team that probably will win this thing, because they've been the most complete team in this entire tournament, And then Puerto Rico, Italy is going to be fun too. It's not like it's going to be the fourth of four matchups, and we'll see how it goes. But let's be honest, Italy has gotten this far. Certainly has been a surprise. And the question is can they get to a semifinal? Wouldn't that be something? By the way, I heard Francesco Cervelli talk, and that was the first time I heard him talk. And I actually didn't know he was actually Italian. I thought he was just some East Coast New Yorker guy who has a very Italian name. No, the dude is straight up Italian. I did not know Francesco Cervelli, the Yankee legend, is straight up Italian.
Yeah, that's actually my most exciting matchup out of the four. I really do like Puerto Rico, Italy. I think that's my most favorable in being fun to watch. So I think these are both prove-it type teams. I think Puerto Rico, not exactly being they didn't win their group like I thought they would, but I do think that they still have the manpower to go far, but I say the same with Italy. I think this Italy offense has surprised a lot of people so far, and I think these two going against each other in a quarterfinal?
Quarterfinal.
I think that is perfect. That's perfect for these two teams to basically show who wants it more, who wants to go out and play either Japan or Venezuela.
Well, you win this round, you get to play in the semifinal, and you get to play in the final or the third place game. So you win this one, then you're guaranteed at least two more games.
I thought there wasn't a third place game.
Maybe they're not doing the third place game. I thought they did it last time. Are you sure?
They didn't do a third place game last time either.
I thought Mexico won it.
There was no third place game.
Why am I hearing that Mexico won bronze last year and Randy Rosarena was like a big part of that? I thought I read that somewhere.
There was no third place game because I remember their last game was against Japan.
So no, I heard on a broadcast they say Mexico finished in third last time they played.
Unless they did it off of
Tubi. They put it on Tubi, the third place game in Tubi.
I don't think there's a third place.
There wasn't
game,
a game, but they finished in third because of the points and the.
Yeah.
Is it a run differential thing, like the points and the differential? Is that the dumb thing they made determine the third place? Now I feel misled, because that's not how that should work, right?
Yeah, I've always thought they should have a third place game too, but
why not?
Especially because they do it for the Olympics, the World Cup, basically any other tournament that's like this. You would think they would.
Imagine a team in the World Cup got determined to be the third place team because they scored more goals than the other team.
Yeah, off a goal difference would be weird.
Right. Wouldn't that be something?
Gives you an extra game to just have more fun. I can see why they kind of don't want to do it with this tournament, but it should be a thing.
Everyone's so damn scared of people getting hurt. And all we've had is Kyle Teal hurting a hamstring because he went too hard for Team Italy, and that's about it. Like, nobody else has been really screwed up from this tournament so far. Maybe the brain of Mark DeRosa, who, by the way, continues to just peel back from his comments saying that he was, just that confident going in that he felt like they moved on, theoretically as a team. So I'm very curious to see what these teams will look like and how they'll react, and can USA get over their second chance? Because their second chance certainly is in front of them, and I don't know, there's just a vibe, there's just a feel that, when you're a team in a tournament like this, it feels like it goes flawless for you, right? I think of teams that win the World Cup, it's flawless for them. It doesn't feel like they look disorganized in any way, or there's not some sort of controversy surrounding it a little bit, right? And so every time I look at some team that wins like something like this, it is always the team of destiny style. And USA does not feel like team of destiny per se because of the way they've set it up.
Yeah, and I think especially because some players just aren't playing as big of a part as you thought they would have. We had Judge going 0 for 4 against Italy. That's not exactly ideal. And just when you have a team that has players that are cold, that's not fun at all. It's not fun for anybody. It's not favorable. You're not going to do well statistically when you have a cold set of players. And like you said, I really think DR is the team that is shaped up the best right now to go all the way. And it would be It would be kind of weird to see a DR team who's hot. I'm going to say hot and ready because that's exactly what they are right now against maybe a USA team who might just scrape by against Canada. But who knows? I'm not going to knock on USA because I do think that roster is still great, but we don't know what's going to happen come tomorrow, right?
They can't lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
The USA cannot lose tomorrow. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They cannot lose tomorrow, and Judge cannot have an 0 for 4. Absolutely cannot have an 0 for 4. That is just not in the cards of what you need to have happen for you at the WBC. Like, it is so out of the parameter. If that goes down, if the United States loses, if this is where it ends for them, there will certainly be a reckoning to how they built this ball club and how they've built it with the coaching staff and with the players they brought in together. And clearly they're going to have to evaluate what kind of team they want to have moving forward, especially, the Olympics are coming around in a couple of years. Who's going to be a big part of that? Which, by the way, I'm curious how that's going to work with the baseball schedule next year and the Olympics being in August, right?
They will probably make that the All-Star.
The All-Star break?
Yeah, that is probably what's going to happen.
Because we haven't had an Olympic event affect baseball players since the 90s, right, Jorge? Because they've only had the lower level pros, right, or some of the minor leaguers play in the Olympics. They never let the major leaguers play in the Olympics when baseball was there for maybe I think 3 Olympics in a row. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, when it used to be college students, the ones that would go. It was an amateur thing that they used to do.
Yeah,
kind of like basketball back in the day before they started letting the big stars play. But it was. It was good baseball, but at the same time, nobody was watching it because you didn't know who was playing, and
right.
So people that didn't care about the sport just didn't matter to them.
We're talking about dudes, and this is going to be a real throwback for people. We're talking about dudes playing on Team USA like Nate Shearholtz was playing. If you know who Nate Shearholtz is, if you're a Giants fan who knows who I'm talking about, then good on you. A bonus points to you. But that was the kind of team, that was the kind of guys that were playing on Team USA, not your other dudes that were certainly there playing.
Yeah, a lot of players that ended up being major leaguers and went to the Olympics while they were in college.
Yeah. You remember Nate Shearholtz, right, Jorge?
Of course, yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
I think I only remember Nate Shearholtz because the dude had, 1, a funky name, and 2, he hit one of the longest home runs I've ever seen in Coors Field. Not named Barry Bonds. So, the dude hit it to the third deck. Rooftop bar they have up at Coors Field where you can enjoy a $3 beer before first pitch. Wonderful spot, Coors Light. The Coors Field up there. I'm vamping a little bit because our interviewer's running a little bit late. Leilani Lemus, who's going to be joining us here pretty soon, she just texted me. She's running a little behind, so I want to vamp just a little bit here more, and we can talk about some other things. Of course, I want to preface, I have a really fun 5 at 5 surrounding the Fresno State basketball program. Jorge, I showed you a little bit of that short list today. I think this is going to be a fascinating one to rank the top 5 basketball games in Fresno State history in the Mountain West. And I might miss some because, it's 13, 14 years I'm going to say 13 years, which feels actually pretty short time for how long they've been in the Mountain West.
2013 on there?
2012 season, which was the football season. 2012-2013 season up until now. 13 years plus of being in the Mountain West, which has come and gone basically since I was following this team. And there are some bangers. There are some games I was at. There were some games I was not at. And I'm sure some people at games. And I want to know maybe what you think is the best Fresno State basketball game in the Mountain West era of Fresno State basketball. Maybe that's some question we can ask as we roll along this show. So if you have an answer to that, 559-320-1430. We'd love to hear from you. What's the best basketball game you've been to in the Mountain West era of Fresno State? That'd be a fun little conversation starter to go as well.
Man, Phil, it feels like the Mountain West has been a part of my entire life.
Yeah, I don't. You were in an infancy stage of the WAC, so I can't even help you there. And get ready for Pac-12. Let's go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just got to get through that Mountain West baseball schedule, softball schedule, and we're on our way.
I remember there was a big deal coming to the Mountain West because we had to pay the WAC $5 million in order to leave. And
chump change.
I mean, now it is, but back then it felt like, how are we going to get the money and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And we weren't the first ones to get, to leave the WAC. It was actually Boise was the one that they left first.
Boise left like a year before, right?
Yeah. And then we followed up with
Nevada came.
Nevada and San Jose State, I believe.
San Jose State showed up as well. That's right. Those are the holdovers. We got in right after TCU left, though, when TCU was in the Mountain West, and that was Andy Dalton's TCU team.
Yeah, TCU and Utah.
Yeah. What could have been? All right, let's take a break, and hopefully we're going to time this right. We're going to have our interviewer walking through the door here at Fashion Furniture. So stay with us. We got our interview. Leilani Lemus, she has been a really awesome wrestler over the last few years here for Clovis High. So can't wait to chat with her. Stick around. Behind the Bench rolls along on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Hey seniors, planning your next step after graduation? The Foundation at FCOE is offering scholarships for Fresno County high school seniors heading to college or vocational education. Whether you're working towards earning a degree or learning a trade, these scholarships can help you get started. You've worked hard, now let us help you move forward. Applications open February 2nd. Learn more and apply at fcoefoundation.org. The Foundation at FCOE, empowering students, supporting educators, and strengthening communities.
Struggling to keep up? Low testosterone could be the cause. Game Day Men's Health can help. Every day is game day. No days off. If your energy is low, your focus is slipping, and you're not feeling like yourself, low testosterone could be the reason. Testosterone fuels your strength, drive, and confidence. And when it's optimized, everything changes. Schedule your free testosterone assessment today at Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Fresno or Visalia. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Fresno or Visalia.
The weather in Fresno is, well, crazy. 31 degrees one day, 71 the next. We're famous for going from winter to summer in the blink of an eye. And you know what that means? It's time to have your air conditioner serviced. Regular AC maintenance doesn't cost. It's an investment that pays. For 56 years, Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning has provided trusted HVAC service to the Central Valley. Annual checkups keep your system running smoothly and help prevent costly repairs. The specialists at Donald P. Dick can locate problems early, saving you money and stress. Sign up for our Super Saver program. It's just a few bucks a month. You'll get 15% off repairs and 2 professional tune-ups a year to keep your efficiency up and your PG&E bill down. For fast, reliable service and over 5 decades of experience, call Mr. Cool at 559-255-1644. That's Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning at 255-1644. At Clausen Honda in Fresno, you're not just getting a car, you're stepping into a full service experience. From the latest new Honda models to certified pre-owned vehicles, a cafe to grab your morning coffee, and a team dedicated to making you feel respected and well served. Whether you're trading in, buying, or scheduling service for your ride, Clausen Honda has you covered with transparent financing, a full service center. Drive in today and see how easy getting behind the wheel can be. Clausen Honda at 6346 North Blackstone Avenue in Fresno.
We started like you, a small team with a big dream to serve the Valley. 20 years later, FFB Bank is still proudly backing businesses across California and beyond. We've learned a lot about what it takes to grow, and now we're using that experience to make things easier for you. With our Switch and Save offer, we'll cover up to 90 days of payment processing, provide no-cost equipment, and offer competitive rates so your business can keep more of what it earns. And behind it all is a local team that truly understands your goals and is ready to help you reach them. Make the switch, save with FFB. Visit ffb.bank to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome to A+ Signs.
Thanks. Yeah, I need some custom exterior signs for my business.
Great. What's the name of your business?
C+ Signs.
Wait, you own a sign company?
Yep, C+ Signs.
And you want us, A+ Signs, to make your signs?
Yeah, I need them really fast, and we can't touch our turnaround times.
We are kind of known for that.
For signs that stop traffic, drive traffic, and even direct traffic, call A+ Signs.
Remember, A+ has great technicians to service and repair signs, too.
Yeah, we got a guy, but he's afraid of ladders.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow. You always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
My wife and I don't need advice on how to create wealth. We need advice on how we seek to make the most of it. We need help with complex issues like creative risk management and tax mitigation strategies, estate planning to help preserve our kids' and grandkids' futures, and leaving a legacy through a trust for charitable giving. And we'd like to simplify by being able to view all of our investment vehicles in one place. We're looking for all of this in one firm. Bottom line, we're looking for something different.
Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management is different. From our innovative software designed to perform detailed analysis and streamlining of even the most complex portfolios, to how our advisors work as a multidisciplinary team to refine financial strategies. Visit Thiessen-Duker.com to learn more about how Thiessen-Duker might just be the kind of different you need. The advisors of Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
It's Ram Truck Month, and Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat is celebrating with big truck power and even bigger savings. For over 35 years, the Valley's premier family-owned and operated dealership has helped drivers find the strength, capability, and dependability they need in a Ram truck. Right now, lease a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $45 a month for 39 months with only $39.99 down. Or upgrade to bold style and premium comfort with a loaded 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie for only $499 a month for 39 months with $39.99 down. And every new Ram truck comes standard with a best-in-class 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, giving you confidence for the long haul. Visit Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, conveniently located on Blackstone between Bullard and Sierra, or shop online anytime at FresnoChrysler.com. Must be approved and financed through SFS. Leases are for 39 months. $4,999 down includes zero security deposit. Lessee responsible for annual excess mileage over 10,000 miles per year at 30 cents per mile. More than 5 available at these offers. Expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Nuggets is at 5:15 on 14:30 later that night. 5:15 pregame with a 5:30 tip-off between the Lakers and the Nuggets on 1430 ESPN. Sunday, we will have the SEC Championship of men's basketball. So a big-time championship there. That's supposed to start at 9:45 a.m. with a 10 a.m. tip-off between the whoever it's going to be, because we're in the conference tournaments right now. A lot of action going on all around college basketball, certainly, including some big-time upsets there as well. With the action, so with everything that's going on, so can't wait to dive into it, right? Because guess what just happened today, which I think a lot of people who are especially paying attention to the mid-majors conversation. We had this conversation a little bit last week with Miami of Ohio, and Miami ends up falling. The undefeated Miami of Ohio Redhawks end up falling in their conference tournament, not in the championship, not in the semifinals, but in the quarterfinals to UMass, 87-83. And now we wait. And that's going to be the question. It is certainly a scenario. And there's been a nightmare scenario brewing for the NCAA because – considering the conversation that has been surrounding Miami, there is certainly a question of talent, which I don't think is a fair evaluator of being the end-all, be-all of what they can do in an NCAA tournament, because they have literally done all they can do in the regular season, which is win every basketball game. And so for you to ask them to be perfect at that point, with everything riding on the conference tournaments surrounding them, this certainly will invite that kind of conversation of what is elite and what is not, and who is invited in the dances, and who gets to play in the championships. And I'm very curious to see what that'll look like for our friends with Miami of Ohio, because what is determined with how Miami of Ohio is evaluated and how they're going to be treated in this postseason, I am looking forward to, if we are going to have the right choice made or the wrong choice made. Either way, it'll expose a lot in what the sensibilities of college basketball will be when it comes to treating the mid-majors versus the big guys as well. So I am very curious into what will look like Sunday with what Miami of Ohio is going to be dealing with everything that their team hopefully will get adjusted to, and hopefully they're going to be well on their way to a tournament appearance. That certainly feels like what it should be, but we're going to find that out on Sunday when Selection Sunday arises there. Okay, we're settled in. I want to take a break, and then we can get our guest on here next on the show here on 1430. So just a quick break here. And we're going to have Leilani on here on 1430 ESPN, Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or valued team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
Back the Birds, Fresno. Fresno Pacific University Sunbirds Baseball is back at the Diamond as the Sunbirds host Point Loma Nazarene March 13th and 14th. Both days feature doubleheader action, so come out and enjoy a full day of Sunbirds Baseball. Experience the brand new, fully seated, fully covered, state-of-the-art Dan Martin Stadium, the crown jewel of West Coast Division II baseball stadiums. So grab your friends and family and come support the Sunbirds. For schedule and ticket information, visit fpuathletics.com. We'll see you at the Dam.
Ed Dinas, the dealer in Dinuba that does. Yes, he does.
Tax season is truck season at Ed Dinas. Every GMC Sierra and Chevy Silverado is priced to move. Step up your tax season savings. Our entire truck inventory is on clearance, so get the most out of your tax return. Strong trade-in values and fast, hassle-free financing. Proud to serve the Valley. Don't wait. Check out the inventory now at eddinasautocenter.com. That's eddinasAutoCenter.com.
You build Pacific Steel Supplies. For every project, residential, commercial, industrial, or agricultural, trust Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno for galvanized and pre-painted corrugated metal sheets and structural steel components. Built to last and designed to be cost-effective. From roofing and fencing to siding projects, count on Pacific Steel Supply. With unbeatable pricing, around-the-clock service, and fast delivery, they help you save time and money. Get your free quote today at Ashland and Parkway, just off or online at PacificSteelSupplyInc.com.
Sports fans of the Central Valley, are you ready to step up your game day grilling? Step into the Butcher Boss and discover winning flavors the champions crave. Ask about their 5 for $35 deal, where you can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
When you want to give a gift everyone loves, give the gift of great food. Lynn's Restaurant Group gift cards work at all their restaurants. Spicy J's, J-Pod, Oisa, Hinoishi, Ramen Hayashi, Lynn's Fusion, Ichi Shabu, and JT. So they can choose what they're craving. Perfect for birthdays, holidays, thank you gifts, or those last-minute presents that still feel thoughtful. Purchase your Lynn's Restaurant Group gift card in-store or on the Lynn's Restaurant Group app. Fast, easy, and always a hit. Lynn's Restaurant Group gift cards. One gift, endless flavor.
Are you ready? All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Pleased to be joined by our next guest on our show, which is a state champion not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Leilani Lemus joins me now from Clovis Girls Wrestling. And Leilani, good to have you here. Pleased to be joined by you, and pleased to be joined by such greatness on the wrestling mat. Appreciate you stopping by on the show. How are you doing on this Thursday?
I'm doing pretty good. It's exciting. Thank you for letting me be on part of your podcast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Podcast, radio, whatever. It's a radio show. No, whatever. No, it's all good. It's good to have you, of course. And it was brought to my attention, you being the 5th girl in California history, right, to win 4 state titles in wrestling, which is quite an achievement. And I know you're proud of that, but when you hear that accomplishment, what comes to mind? Like, what are the things that come up to you, and when you think about the achievement of being a 4-time wrestling champion in California?
It brings me back to like memories when I was little, and it shows like all the hard work I paid off to get to here in this moment, and it just reminds you of like the memories of me practicing and like understanding that what wrestling was gonna do for me, and then as I do it now for the last 4 years, it has surprised me that I was able to do what I'm doing right now.
Right, exactly, right, because this has certainly been quite a journey for you to get to this point. And so for the folks who don't know, Leilani became the 5th girl ever in the state of California to do that, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember the other 4, or if you know the other 4 or off the top of your head, or maybe I'm quizzing you right on the spot, or do you know any of them that came before you? Is that a list you were looking at for quite some time?
Yes, I used to watch Gracie and Alita. They're from Shanghai, and they've been like one of my biggest inspiration. I used to like watch them when I was younger, and them like seeing them going out on the mat and being very dominant with the sport was something that I looked up to. And actually, when having Gracie, getting to actually know her and having her as something that I was able to talk to and like listen to her and like watch her wrestle has like impacted my wrestling career, and like in many ways improving not just in wrestling but in school and keeping myself disciplined.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly the discipline it takes to be a quality wrestler, it is hard to just continue to maintain that, and that's the thing, right? Is to maintain that level of ability so you can win 4 times in a row. Because at any point, somebody could come and challenge you on that, right? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the discipline that it takes to be at the top for so long.
I'll probably take you through my life. So I wake up, get ready for school, and go go to school, and then practice comes around. It's 2 hours. I practice for 2 hours, knowing that I only have 2 hours in that day to improve on wrestling, rather I have a partner or don't, or rather if I have a challenge that day or don't. So I try to make myself have a goal, a weekly goal or a daily goal to improve my wrestling and work on certain things that I think that I need to work on, or certain things that my coaches say, like, this is going to help you out, this is going to improve your wrestling, not just in high school, but for college and for international as I get older.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, right? Because that's the goal, is for you to challenge at the top level and how you progress, right? And so I'm just curious, and maybe we start from the beginning, because that's kind of what I like to do with the profile of some of these athletes, some of you who have reached the pinnacle for what you're at, right? And so when did wrestling become a part of your life?
I started in first grade as somebody else's partner that needed wrestling, so I was like more like a dummy. And
You're no dummy for doing it.
And so then eventually I didn't really like the sport, and so maybe like in 6th grade I quit wrestling throughout
Really?
middle school. I completely quit it. I did it just to do it, but I was like, I'm not doing no tournaments. Like, I don't see myself going out there. And then one day it was like, my dad was like, we're just going to put you in this tournament, see how you do.
Okay.
I end up wrestling, and my dad was like, oh, didn't tell me anything. And he was like, yeah, I wrestled this girl, and I didn't know she took second at state, and she was like a world team member. And she was really hard, and it went ultimate overtime, and I think the match lasted around like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I beat her, and like, I was like, okay, I got off the mat, and everyone was like cheering and yelling, and I was like, okay, like, what's going on? And then after I wrestled the next girl, and I know she was a returning state champ, and I ended up beating her again. And my dad was like, Leilani, like, you beat 2 top girls in the nation and in the state, like.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what, really? And I didn't realize it until like that my freshman year towards state time. I was like beating everyone, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And I think it hit me after state, when I was like, oh, I just won state. And as a freshman, like, what's
Wow.
going on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me step in here, because I got a lot of questions, right? Because I want to go right to that initial tournament. And you go beat whoever you beat, and you're probably in that match just saying, I'm just going to go out there and do what I can do, right?
Yeah.
And how you were able to kind of match her up, and you end up winning in overtime. And so, like, what do you remember that match, like every moment of it, and like what you were drawing from? Because obviously you clearly were, able to kind of handle it in some form or fashion with beating her, right?
Yeah. During the first match that I wrestled her, the first girl, I was like, okay, she's really strong. She's really good. Let me just go out there and just wrestle her. So I was wrestling her, and I was like, man, I got one takedown. Okay, maybe if I keep it a little more close, then I'm gonna win the match. She takes me down again, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm behind 4, and everyone was just like staring.
Right.
And so then it was 4-2. Then I get taken down again, and I was like, okay, it's 6-2, and I was like, you know what, I'm done holding back. Okay, and let me go a little more harder. So then I take her down twice. And by the time it hits third period, it's 6-6, and we go to ultimate overtime. And I was like, you know what, I'm not breaking today. I can't break. I felt like, oh, it's kind of, everyone's watching. It's a little embarrassing.
You felt the eyeballs on you. You didn't want to lose in front of everybody, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to lose in front of everyone, not knowing that who she was.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let me just push it a little more harder. And maybe wrestling is meant to be, so
yeah.
I'm just going to do it and take advantage of the time that I'm out there. So then as the overtime goes, eventually I believe I got out and got one, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm done with the match. Like, it's over. It's now
You
time
wanted
for
it to end.
It's time for me to go get water.
That's all you were focused on was getting a drink of water. But
yeah.
That's crazy to think, like, you were drawing from some experience, and And I wonder if you knew like what the stakes were of that match beforehand, would you have gotten in your own head a little bit? Like, was the ignorance bliss of like knowing what you actually achieved afterwards better if you didn't know beforehand? You're like, oh my God, I'm facing the number 2 wrestler. And
I think that me not knowing that who I was gonna wrestle helped me out, like not to overthink about it. Sometimes I think I overthink about a lot of stuff, and then as I go out there, it messes me up.
Right.
So instead of me overthinking about it, I think that I think it was a good thing not telling me, not telling me who they were.
So I want to know is you probably draw from that a little bit, right? Because maybe that's your process when you get ready for a match. Is like I try not to think about the opponent too much, because if I do, I just get locked into an overthinking of everything, and maybe you keep it simple just by thinking about what you do in matches.
Yes. Usually, I don't like tend to watch other I watch other matches, but I don't tend to watch my opponent matches and like see what they do, because I feel like it brings a doubt to you, and I can't do that. And as me, I'm already like overthinking what am I gonna do on the mat. So my goals are I'm gonna take this match one by one, and I usually set a goal with my sister, and my goal is to get 5 takedowns, and if I can't get 5 takedowns, then I need to go fix that up at practice, and I'll put that aside. So then I'll go out on the match, and usually then that's my goal, and then if it goes pretty good, then it goes pretty good, and if not, if it's a closer match, if I can't beat him, I learned that if I can't beat him in hand fighting, if I can't take him down, that I'm gonna beat him in hand fighting. If I can't beat him in hand fighting, I'm gonna learn to beat him in certain positions.
Right.
And I think that's something that like is really big to me. Like there's other ways to beat him, and I think everyone's beatable, even myself.
Right.
And
of course, there's
yes.
everybody has their own vulnerabilities, and you have to figure that out as you go through matches and what you do. I'm fascinated by how you've kind of glommed onto the sport and found real success from this kind of meteoric rise, like you said at the beginning, coming out of a sport you once quit, right,
yes.
to now where you are, and I'm sure you're glad you're back in it now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I'm happy that I'm back in it. It actually brings so much more opportunities, and it shows me more things in life, and I learned a lot of things on the mat than
right.
And it shows me what I need to do to keep myself at a balance.
Like, tell me a little bit of like the confidence it gives you, right?
I think I don't know. Many don't know that my biggest struggle is confidence. I have a hard thing with confidence, just like with anything and it's like my biggest struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So these past 4 years, I've been having struggle with confidence, and I think that having people around you that are upbeat and uplift you,
right,
it helps me with my confidence a lot. And so this year, my goal was for my wrestling high school career for my senior year. My goal was to have confidence in what I did and what I did and everything that I do it. That I'm gonna do it with my best ability, and that I was gonna have confidence into it, and that having confidence was gonna make it easier, but not to make it easier, but more stable for me to be able to go out in the next my college career without having my parents there on the mat every single time, or having a sibling there coaching me on the mat. So I think that's what I learned this year, to have confidence enough to help me.
Trust yourself.
Yes.
Trust yourself in matches, right? Because
yes.
you, of course, with what you've achieved, a lot of people are paying attention to you, right?
Yes.
A lot of colleges are wanting to know if you're interested, obviously, in going to the next level and doing what you're doing, and right? And so that certainly feels intimidating to know that, but also the confidence in yourself to know that you've earned these opportunities, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about, when you're starting to hear these things from colleges, and they want you to wrestle at the next level for the women's side, right? What is that like? What has that been like for you to experience?
It's been a great experience. I've been getting to learn what I like and what I want in college, and what I like and dislike. about it, like pros and cons, and I think all the colleges I've been talked to, all great coaches, all great teams, and I found that out that like I think the best place I could be at is where my college is united, my team's united, my coaches are like another parent.
Kind of like what Clovis has provided
Yes,
you, right?
yes, like just like with Clovis, and what I'm able to if I'm able to fit in, and if I'm able to produce not just in wrestling but on my educational path, and I think that's something that I prioritize is unity.
And for you, you're certainly still figuring that out, right?
Yes.
You're still trying to make that decision. You're not. I don't want you to. You don't need to break any news on my channel of what you're thinking, but it's every day that you're continuing to kind of figure it out as you go, right?
Yes.
Until that decision comes.
Yes, and many people wonder, and like they'll people like come up and talk, and they're like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" I haven't decided yet, but it'll be soon. It's soon. I promise. I promise.
Well, you're certainly enjoying the moments, and as you look back and think about what Clovis has provided for you, wrestling wise, and the teammates and the moments, right? What is the thing you're gonna look back most about your high school wrestling career and what you've done?
I think that I think what I'm gonna look back at most is that I just didn't leave a story, but I left a testimony of who I am and what I represent on and off the mat, and hopefully many see that I walk with love and talk with love, and that everything that I do, that it's to my best abilities, and it's not for my glory but for God's, and that everyone that sees it, that it doesn't represent not only my testimony but God's testimony throughout my whole journey.
That's great, and well put there. And it's fascinating. You were telling me off air as well before you came on that you're really tight with a lot of the top athletes here at Clovis, you know, and I'd be hard pressed to not ask you a couple questions about your friends that are going up to Sacramento in a couple of days. I'm sure they were supporting you when you went down to
yes.
in Bakersfield, right? And now they're probably you're probably equally as excited for what they're going to do in Sacramento.
I'm so excited for our girls basketball team tomorrow, and I've been praying, and like, I'm so excited. I think they're gonna win. Don't want to I think they're gonna win. They work so hard, and Yasmin, Sadie, Gia, Millie, they all put it. And the Walt sisters, they all put so much effort and work into it, and I think we all can relate with sports. That we put so much effort into it, and that we're expecting the best outcome, and I'm expecting the best outcome. I think it's been nice to have like similar journeys and be relatable, because even if I like lose or something, they always uplift me no matter what, and I like that I'm able to uplift them. And every time I see them, it's like, it's not sad. It's always, hey, like, how's things going? It's always like it's always something like happy, and I'm so excited for them. I can't wait to see them I can't wait to see their goals tomorrow, and hopefully they win. I think they are.
You've been at probably as many playoff games as you tried to get to these last couple of weeks, right? Just to watch them play.
Yes. I was actually watching. I was like telling my friends to record so I could watch.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I was like, I'm so happy for them, and I hope that Clovis High's wrestling and girls basketball team keeps on growing, and that the women's sport just keeps on growing, and that it's uplifted.
Strong women's sports
yes.
at Clovis High for sure. So I know with college and everything, what's the next couple months looking like for you, as far as, you know, you told me you're getting ready to compete a little bit as well.
I know. Hopefully in April. I think it's the 9th or the 12th. It's called Women's Nationals. It's another form of World Trials, and I follow the show. I always take like third place, but this year I've been putting a little extra work in, and I know it's gonna be a little new to me because I'll be wrestling U20s, but I know that I'm gonna go out there and wrestle my best to my best ability. And I think the last 4 years the last 3 years I kind of like didn't reach my goal, but I think this year I'm gonna reach my goal, because I I've been pushing, and I think that when I wrestle out there, that it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be a little new.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for be able to take another opportunity.
And where is it gonna be at?
It's gonna be hosted in Washington, Spokane.
Spokane, Washington.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, so you've been there. Have you ever been there before? Or?
Yeah. Yes, I've been there. I believe 2 or 3 times. And
okay.
It's a pretty nice state, and everyone's pretty welcoming, and it's nice to see that women's wrestling is growing, because it's like very packed. It's like state, but on the national side.
Yeah.
Tough opportunity.
Well, it's exciting to get to know what you're up to, and get the chance to tell your story here on air, and it's exciting, and I cannot wait to see where you're going and how it's going to play out. And lastly, good luck to the Clovis girls basketball team tomorrow too.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you guys.
Leilani Lemus here of Clovis Girls Wrestling. Appreciate it as always. Good luck on your career moving forward.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your radio station.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have our third and final hour next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, Valley's local sports leader.
Fresno, you already know how we roll in the mornings. From 9 to noon, Monday through Friday, it's Rich Eisen holding it down on ESPN Fresno. NFL headlines covered. NBA buzz locked in. Viral moments and hot takes always in play. Rich brings the insight, the humor, and those can't-miss interviews that keep you plugged into everything happening in the sports world. So whether you're on the road, at work, or sneaking in that early coffee break, keep it right here. Rich Eisen, 9 to noon, weekdays on ESPN Fresno.
We started like you, a small team with a big dream to serve the Valley. 20 years later, FFB Bank is still proudly backing businesses across California and beyond. We've learned a lot about what it takes to grow, and now we're using that experience to make things easier for you. With our Switch and Save offer, we'll cover up to 90 days of payment processing, provide no-cost equipment, and offer competitive rates so your business can keep more of what it earns. And behind it all is a local team that truly understands your goals and is ready to help you reach them. Make the switch, save with FFB. Visit ffb.bank to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Fresno State Baseball and their hard-hitting Diamond Dogs will be lighting up Pete Biden Field at Bob Bennett Stadium all season long. Right next door will be your Fresno State softball team at Margie Wright Diamond. The Bulldogs want your community support, and we all know Bulldog baseball and softball isn't the same without the Red Wave. Come out and support your Diamond Dogs as baseball and softball compete for another Mountain West championship. And remember, go Dogs!
Horn Barbecue is now open in Fresno's Granite Park, and it's time to eat. From Bay Area legend and Michelin award-winning pitmaster Matt Horn comes slow smoked brisket, tender ribs, and bold West Coast barbecue done right. Bring the family, call the crew, come hungry. And here's a good reason to come down. Visit hornbarbecue.com and redeem $20 off your $50 and up purchase. Limited time only. Horn Barbecue, now open on Cedar between Ashland and Dakota in Fresno. Real smoke, real flavor, right now.
This tax season, make your refund go further at Fashion Furniture. Get up to $250 instantly towards your furniture purchase. From living rooms to bedrooms, even new outdoor furniture for spring, now is the time to save. Make your tax refund go further with up to $250 in instant savings towards your purchase. Only at Fashion Furniture. There's nothing like it in all of California.
Are you ordering with DoorDash more than twice per month? In that case, let's talk about signing you up for Dash Pass, the easiest way to save money on what you're already ordering. With a Dash Pass membership, you can enjoy unlimited $0 delivery fees from thousands of restaurants, grocery, and convenience stores. Sign up for Dash Pass and try it for free for 30 days. DoorDash, get more from your neighborhood.
It's Ram Truck Month, and Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat is celebrating with big truck power and even bigger savings. For over 35 years, the Valley's premier family-owned and operated dealership has helped drivers find the strength, capability, and dependability they need in a Ram truck. Right now, lease a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $45 a month for 39 months with only $39.99 down. Or upgrade to bold style and premium comfort with a loaded 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie for only $499 a month for 39 months with $39 $39.99 down. And every new Ram truck comes standard with a best-in-class 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, giving you confidence for the long haul. Visit Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, conveniently located on Blackstone between Bullard and Sierra, or shop online anytime at FresnoChrysler.com. Must be approved and financed through SFS. Leases are for 39 months. $4,999 down includes zero security deposit. Lessee responsible for annual excess mileage over 10,000 miles per year at 30 cents per mile. More than 5 available at these offers. Expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Your home of the San Francisco 49ers. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Conference Tournament Week. A couple of the nation's best in action right now. Number 5 Houston on ESPN. Joe Lunardi's number 2 line heading into the NCAA tournament in his latest projection. Taking on BYU, but trailing at the half. The Cougars up 41-37. A.J. DeBonsa, 16 points, 4 of 8 from the field. Robert Wright III in double figures with 12 as well. Number 1 Duke, the number 1 overall seed in ESPN Joe Lunardi's bracket projection, trailing Florida State at the half, 44-43. 16 points for LeJay Jones to lead the way for Florida State. Cameron Boozer, 11 points and 5 rebounds. Isaiah Evans up to 22 for Duke, but they trail at the half, looking for win number 30 on the year. That one in progress on ESPN TV and ESPN Radio affiliates. Earlier, Miami, Ohio, no longer undefeated. They fall to UMass in the MAC quarters by 4. They're still in Joe Lunardi's last 4 after falling in the tournament. New home for Kyler Murray in the NFL. 2-time Pro Bowler signing a 1-year deal with the Vikings. Murray released by the Cardinals at the start of the new league year. Played in just 5 games last season, throwing for nearly 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns, while the Steelers are signing former Bears safety Jaquan Brisker to a 1-year, $5.5 million deal.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Friday, ESPN's Brian Windhorst breaks down the NBA stretch run. The actor John C. McGinley joins us in studio, plus what's more likely. That's Friday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, Plus, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
The 20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this third and final hour of our show, going all the way up to 6 o'clock, taking you up to Laker basketball later tonight as they take on the Chicago Bulls. Lakers Bulls tonight, 7:30 tip-off, 7:15 pregame right here on 1430 ESPN. Also live here on 790 over on the other side, our sister station, Sharks and Bruins in a battle, and that one currently sitting at 1-0 Sharks on the road against the Bruins. End of the first period, going into the second in about 10-15 minutes or so. We're live here at 5, and we're live here at Fashion Furniture. And a reminder here in the month of March that as the temperatures get warmer, you want to start thinking about that outdoor living furniture. And they got Outdoor Living by Fashion. Beautiful outdoor furniture, which is now available. It's part of that Horizon Hall collection. And if you ask about their outdoor collections, they're designed for your lifestyle. You want to have the people who know everything about that right here at Fashion Furniture. Be sure to finance it. 24 months deferred interest available, OAC. And a portion of that sales and those sale proceeds during the month of March will be donated to that Central Valley April Honor Flight. So be sure to contribute there if you make a purchase here it'll certainly help the folks at the Central Valley Honor Flight who allow our troops to head over to D.C. and have a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them. All right, so as we lock in here and move later into this show, and some free agents were introduced today in NFL news and conversations, and certain players were talked about and brought in front of the public, in front of the folks who are sure excited. And the 49ers are a team that has certainly made some moves here today and have introduced some other guys. And some guys don't need much introduction. But Mike Evans signing the dotted line on his contract today, and that is official. So Mike Evans is a 49er for at least for potentially 3 years. We'll see if that totally lasts, but you know how contracts are. 3 years, $60.5 million for the Mike Evans deal, and it is a little bit of a pay cut to consider what he has provided in terms of his pay level for the last few years with Tampa, and he took a pay cut to get out of Tampa, which is just a stark realization of how sour that situation may have gotten with him. And he looks at this situation with the 49ers and sees winners and sees a winning opportunity. Is that actually true? Is that something that can push the 49ers over the top? What was the concentration and issues with this 49er team? Well, last year we went to a game. I went to a game and saw them play Seattle, right? Seattle certainly in Week 18 swarmed the 49ers and overwhelmed to the point of the 49ers having no ability to get any sort of offensive output from their pass game whatsoever. No guys were getting separation. Juwan Jennings, best separation Juwan Jennings had all night was the refs separating him from the Seahawks that he wanted to fight on the sideline. That was the best separation we saw in that game. So certainly Mike Evans, who's not quite a separation guy, but you don't need him to separate when he can make those one-on-one grabs, certainly in the traffic and the ability. So, but his best ability is when he is available. That's going to be the question, right? Can he be available throughout this entire season? And if I'm a betting man, I have this belief that he certainly can be and that he certainly will be at least this year. And if this is the year the Niners circle as the year to win a Super Bowl, which seems like this is what it's been for the last basically since 2019, then that is certainly the signing in the short term that makes the Niners at least feel good about themselves. But there's so many more questions of whether they can run block still. Do they have the ability to draft guys who can help in that situation? Is pass rusher still as much of a need now? Guess who they brought back? I think 1 year for $7.5 million. Jorge, are you excited to have Dre Greenlaw back on your defense for the 49ers? I got to imagine 49er fans are feeling a little thrilled with that news tidbit that came out this afternoon. You're thrilled for Dre Greenlaw?
Yeah, definitely. I think, every time we add something to the defense that makes it better, I think it's worth it. So I feel like definitely Greenlaw is one of those guys, so happy he's back.
I would propose that the 49ers, for his entire one-year contract and what Dre Greenlaw will provide, is that his Niner defenders will carry him on the field. He will not be allowed to run onto the field anymore, considering what happened 3 years ago in the Super Bowl when he made that unfortunate misstep and snapped his Achilles, right? So, Jorge, I'm rooting. I would implore his Niner teammates to be the first teammates ever to carry the man on the field just to make sure he is okay and ready to play football.
I mean, how could you make it, so that he doesn't get hurt? It just, it's just part of what life is in San Francisco. We got that power station over there. That
substation, right?
Substation,
even though it happened in Vegas when they were in Vegas in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but mean, he was hurt already, I guess.
Yeah, that desert air, that dry desert air, certainly.
That's what did it, right?
yeah, that dirt, that dust, the sandstorm, all of it. certainly causing Dre Greenlaw to become brittle at the reins, right? No, and it's going to be important to have him, right? Because now we saw this other strange news that popped up, which, every person has a right to pursue what they want to do in this country and however they want to go about it. Bryce Huff retiring at 27, soon to be 28 years old, a D-end for the 49ers, who I thought had some moments, is now going to pursue a career in helping loosen or not loosen, what are we talking about? Diminish the risk of fire in ion batteries, which we all know when you get an ion battery fire on the route to Vegas or on the route anywhere, you're done for like a day or two. So fascinating development, but maybe Bryce Huff knows something. He knows that's a more lucrative offer than maybe playing football for the 49ers. Anything strange from that situation, Jorge? What do you? That's got to be very.
I just think he was tired. I think he wanted a little bit more money than they were offering him. He didn't find anybody else that would offer him that, so he's gonna take some time off and see what happens.
Fire risk in ionic batteries diminish the. Silicon Valley can pay a lot more than what the Niner players are probably getting. I guarantee you, Niner players per capita are one of the least paid guys compared to how much money is being paid to those tech company people that live up there in that Silicon Valley area. So maybe it is lucrative. Maybe it's a little bit better of a venture. Maybe he'll start earning Brock Purdy money as opposed to what Bryce Huff was earning, which I got to imagine is a fraction of what he could make if that company actually goes crazy, huh? Wouldn't that be something? So, also want to acknowledge there's some of the lower-end signing side of things. Trent McDuffie, by the way, was introduced by the Rams, and the Rams introduced some players. Jalen Watson also introduced. So we got Chiefs L.A. in the secondary here for the L.A. Rams, and these dudes are probably very pumped and are pumped to be here as well for the L.A. Rams. A lot of talk about the winning tradition, the reloading, and that this sustainability that the Rams have found themselves in over the last, basically since Sean McVay has become head coach of this team. There is a lot to like if I'm a player incoming here and getting ready to play for the LA Rams. And Trent McDuffie, who signed one of the largest contracts a corner's ever seen, is now a leader on that defense, I got to imagine. And from a leadership standpoint in the secondary, and Cameron Curl's back as a safety as well, suddenly I feel like the weakness of the Rams has been addressed, and it continues to sharpen what I think is going to be what I think is they are the best team in the NFL right now, the LA Rams, once again. And I'm going to say no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That secondary got considerably better. I am having a hard time finding weaknesses on this Rams roster moving forward. And, oh, by the way, they have the 12th overall pick next year. They have the 12th overall pick. The rich get richer. Isn't that something? I'm fascinated by what they'll do there. I still think there's a trade potentially and what that'll look like, but I am fascinated with what's going on with the LA Rams moving forward. Last little bit of free agency nugget, just real quick for you folks out there as well. Just wanted to address it on the show. Max Crosby tweeted last night. Mad Max Crosby saying some things last night that Raider fans are pleased to hear. Did you see the tweet last night, Jorge, that Max Crosby put out?
Yeah. He's.
I can't say all the words on it,
but he's definitely a Raider, and he wants to be there for some time, basically.
And Raider fans have the right to get very excited here. I'll read the tweet. Everything happens for a reason. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. I'm a Raider. I'm back. Run that bleep. And that bleep is a word I can't say on air. And it has the Undertaker gif of him coming out of the coffin ready to roll. So Max Crosby's back all in, which if you had that as your square on a bingo card, I do not think Raider fans would have believed you. But now this is becoming more and more of a reality. And the question is, are the Raiders still going to be fielding offers? What if somebody still says 2 first-rounders here and we can make a deal here? I'm curious to see if I'm very curious to see if the Raiders are going to have a hard time saying no to that deal, because of all the money spent, and then they get this additional side adding with Max Crosby. You got to be careful, though, if you're the Raiders. This is very obviously a little tenuous of a situation, right? Because suddenly you're back together. It's like boyfriend, girlfriend, who you thought was giving up on each other. You thought the wife kicked the husband out, and suddenly now we're back, and you were like, wait, I thought you guys were breaking up. I thought this was done, and suddenly you're back together, and you see this couple that just can't seem to quit each other just because of the circumstances. It's fascinating to continue to pay attention to what this Raider Max Crosby situation is providing. So it is my prediction. Certainly feels like the Raiders are going to keep him and make this thing work moving forward. That's what I would root for. I think NFL fans want to root for that too, because Max Crosby in a Raider uniform just feels like peanut butter and jelly on bread. It just feels like it goes together. So,
peanut butter and jelly. That's that what you said?
That's what I said, man. Peanut butter and jelly.
Making me hungry now.
A little 5 p.m. peanut butter PB&J.
A little snack before dinner.
Yeah, a little snack before dinner. We like snacks before dinner, huh? No, PB&J, that's what you go for at a 5 p.m. Little snack? That's not too bad, right? But I don't know, man. I like a little toast. I'm just a little sourdough toast guy.
No, you know what? We used to get those Uncrustable thingies. And they were pretty much it. Yeah, you get one before dinner, then you go get some dinner.
Yeah. Well, usually, so I got to walk the dogs usually at around like 6 o'clock every day, typically when my show ends. So I don't, especially on Thursdays, I'm afforded the snack. The only thing I can have right now is pizza, but I know that's going to make me very lethargic on my walk later. So I'm trying to avoid it right now. No offense to the Me and Ed's folks, but I'm trying to keep light. I'm trying to stay light, which is very ironic for who I am, So if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, Jorge, enough screwing around. Let's take a break, and when we come back, I have in front of me the de facto top 5 Fresno State men's basketball games of the Mountain West era. Now that we are done, now that it is over, Fresno State is out, we have the top 5 games Fresno State has played in the Mountain West. My list here next, coming up on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Get ready, Fresno. It's time for the madness. The road to the championship is here, and every buzzer beater, upset, and bracket buster is live on ESPN Fresno. From the opening tip to the Final Four, hear every moment of the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament right here. Stay locked into ESPN Fresno for all the madness. This March Madness coverage is brought to you by Lee's Air, Lynn's Restaurant Group, M-Cubed Technologies, Pacific Steel Supply, and Pioneer Equipment.
Struggling to keep up? Low testosterone could be the cause. Game Day Men's Health can help. Every day is game day. No days off. If your energy is low, your focus is slipping, and you're not feeling like yourself, low testosterone could be the reason. Testosterone fuels your strength, drive, and confidence. And when it's optimized, everything changes. Schedule your free testosterone assessment today at Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Fresno or Visalia. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Fresno or Visalia.
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at BanyanTreeFresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
And there it goes again. Yeah, our AC just tapped out.
I'm still traumatized from last summer. We were basically living in a toaster.
Yeah, we had every fan in the house on full blast. Still felt like 85 degrees. And that electric bill, I'm still recovering.
Not doing that again. Maria had her spring tune-up. Lee's Air cleaned her system, checked everything, and now it cools faster and uses less energy.
Yeah, she said it was only $99.
Plus, they gave her a 2-hour booking window. No waiting all day.
We're calling Lee's before summer turns this place into a sauna again.
Prep your home for a hot Central Valley summer with a $99 AC tune-up from Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Call 559-785-1212 or book at leesair.com.
CO number 635355.
AC Heat and Plumbing, you just call Lee's. It's easy as calling Lee's. Lee's AC, Lee's AC, Plumbing and Heat, yeah. Lee's AC.
Citizens Business Bank is a proud sponsor of the Fresno State Bulldogs. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We proudly support California's thriving small to medium-sized businesses. Our relationship-based approach and straightforward business model set us apart in the financial services industry. We are a banking partner that understands your industry and your company. Whether you're expanding operations or planning for the future, Citizens Business Bank is here to help ensure your banking experience is smooth, convenient, and aligned with your success. My team strives to build long-term banking relationships by getting to personally know you and your business, and then providing you with a wide array of powerful solutions customized to your unique financial needs. Visit cbbank.com to learn how Citizens Business Bank can help contribute to your success. That's cbbank.com. Citizens Business Bank, N.A., Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Progressive presents Heroes That Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero, the Rest Up Bathroom Custodian. Is there toilet paper? No. Paper towels? No. Clean stalls? Also no. But the soap dispenser is full, and that counts for something. Thanks, hero. Know what else keeps truckers going? Progressive's expanded cargo protection through their enhanced Cargo Plus coverage. Get a quote at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not available in California.
This magic moment.
Show of the week before we send it off to the weekend, 3-day weekend for us, at least for the show. We will not be airing tomorrow behind the bench because of FPU Sunbirds baseball, but we will have Tony's show, Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D from 2 to 3. So that's what we got for you there. Let's get to our 5 at 5, and this is going to be a fun one. Jorge, play the imaging if you got it.
FFB Bank, family-friendly banking. What does FFB mean to you? 5 at 5 with Benatti is brought to you by FFB Bank, faithful financial banking. What does FFB mean to you?
I caught you off guard there, didn't I?
I'm just
Come on, man. I gave you the sheet. You know what's coming up. Oh, man. 5 at 5. And this is going to be a fun one. 5 at 5, which is the top 5 Fresno State basketball games in the Mountain West era. So we are talking 2012-2013 season all the way up to this season, the 25-26 season. I have 5 contenders here. I do have some honorable mentions. Probably should save the honorable mentions after, right, Jorge?
Yeah.
Keep the suspense going. So let's get to it, and let's get to number 5.
Number 5.
So let's take you back to just a month ago. Yeah, I'm putting this on this list. The UNLV win, 98-96, buzzer beater, true buzzer beater. Fresno State wins. Jake Highbreeder sealing it. And how about a 7-0 run with 6 seconds to go to snap a 5-game losing skid to the running Rebels. And if you're any sort of optimist like I am, maybe this is a win that you can kind of point to and see the breadcrumbs of a team that has some belief in its ability to come back and win, because, this Fresno State team has played so many close games, and so many close games were lost, and this is the one that they were able to pull out a year, and get a victory over the UNLV Running Rebels. And I certainly think it was a lot of fun for some folks to see how this all played out and the comeback that it took to make it happen. Heidbreder with 29 in a high-scoring game. Zayon Collins with 16 as well. Gorey had 15, and Bastian Reber with 15 off the bench, including those important free throws that he made to allow the situation to unfold, and the pressure defensively that allowed Fresno State to gain possession after the Rebels just threw the ball full court with no plan or idea of whatsoever it was happening. So what a crazy game that was. I'm sure a lot of fans who were in the building were just shocked at how it all ended up and transpired. I hope everyone stuck around to the end of that one too. That one, if you're just going to I have to add it to the list just simply, as representative of maybe this newer era of Fresno State basketball, because I'm probably going to go back to some less recent games. But this one sticks out to me as just a crazy, crazy comeback in the last minute.
Number 4.
No comment, Jorge? Nothing? You got nothing on that one? All right, fine. I thought we were going to get a little.
I didn't know I was supposed to have a comment, but
you don't need to have a pick. I just
okay, just a comment.
You like that one at 5? You like
no,
that one at 5?
I liked it. I liked it because it was something that hadn't happened in a while. Something that, there were students in the stands watching the game, and everybody got hyped up, and it could show something that could happen here often. That used to happen sometimes, and now it's not. It's not as prevalent as it was at one point or another.
Right, because Fresno State always seemed to lose those games, and this one was one that they actually just kind of pulled a rabbit out of their hat, and it made it to bad beats too. That's why I'll always remember it too. It made it to bad beats with Scott Van Pelt, and so Sports Center spot for that one certainly deserves to be in a place in this list. So now that we're at number 4. And let me take you back to the year 2014 in March. And we're going back to Vegas, but this time at the Mountain West Tournament. And I'm talking about a first-round thrilling game taking on Air Force. Fresno State was down 15 points with 6 minutes to go in this basketball game. And our boy, current assistant coach Tyler Johnson, leading the charge to get this team back on its feet. Alan Huddleston also leading the way, and really just not giving up in a basketball game that Air Force was certainly making it happen, and looked like they were cruising. 56-41 was the score with 5:46 to go, and Fresno turned up the defensive intensity. Marvell Harris started getting some things going with his sophomore season, and maybe getting a little glimpse of what his possibilities were going to be as a basketball player. I saw the stats where Tyler Johnson finished up as well. I think he had like 19 points in that game with 12 rebounds, which was his 8th double-double, including him as a guard, which was such a good rebounding guard for him, if you do remember how great Tyler Johnson was. And despite shooting just 18 for 54 from the field, this team somehow found a 15-point comeback in them and kept their running going. And I put this on the list because it shows foundationally how we saw this team starting to turn a corner as a basketball team that was going to make some noise in Las Vegas, which we now know a couple years later they do. No spoiler on that, but this to me signaled something is different at Fresno State than just what it was, which was toiling for a little bit in the early parts of the Mountain West. This to me showed a little bit of something from this game. And so even though the Dogs get eliminated the next day at the Mountain West Tournament, Tyler Johnson and crew getting it done, down 15 with 6 minutes to go, beating Air Force Academy 61-59. This lands at number 4 on my list.
Yeah, I liked it. I think that it was definitely one of those games that it was a Coach Terry game, right?
Yeah.
because those games that were close, he had I don't know, it was something that was always him pushing the team to its limits, and then they would win,
Right.
And I think that was one of those games at the beginning of his era too. So it wasn't like it was something already set, but it was good precedent for what was coming in the future.
Let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
Let's go to the next season. And actually, let's move a couple years ahead. I'm going to 2016. We're going to February 6th at the Save Mart Center in what might be one of the most, I'll call this the bat bleep game of offense here. It was insane. 111 to 104, Fresno State beats UNLV in double overtime at the Save Mart Center. At the time, it was the most points Fresno State scored by any Mountain West program in that season when playing a D1 opponent. 111 points was also the most points Fresno State at that point had scored at the Save Mart Center. Later, they did score like 125 against San Jose State a few years later. But Fresno State, only the 10th time they've ever scored 111 or more in a single game. And Marvell Harris certainly showing up to be the guy that he promised to be, which was a conference player of the year. How about this stat line for you? 37 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Colin Russo showing up with a double-double with 17 and 11 as well. And Fresno State needed every bit a part of that to score that 111 in what was felt like really a true NBA-style scoring fest between them and the UNLV Running Rebels. And by the way, Fresno State only 15-8 at that point, getting that win in that key 2016 team, because if you do recall, I think they finished with 9 losses on the year once they got to the NCAA tournament. So this sparked a run through the Mountain West that allowed them, if they dropped this game, I don't think we'd be talking about them maybe getting through that Mountain West tournament and winning it in 2016, because they would be 5-5 in the conference and maybe a much lower seed than where they've ended up finishing. But with this win in double overtime against UNLV in one of the highest scoring games ever seen at Save Mart Center, Fresno State used that, boosted themselves with a month to go in the season, and then took over the 2 seed and ended up being a 2 seed in the Mountain West tournament. We all know what the history is there. So combination of scoring, combination of just an awesome night from Marvell Harris. This certainly has to be on the list. This is why it's at number 3.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very good game to have on there, because it basically signaled what the era of Coach Terry was,
Right.
Just basically not give up, and
the pinnacle of what
there.
Coach Terry's tenure looked like was this.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Cesar Guerrero only had 9 points in there. I'm looking at the box score. We had 18 from Julian Lewis off the bench. Terrell Carter, big TC, who I think was only a freshman that year, had 14 off the bench as well. A lot of great bench contributions from this team. I love looking at the names on here. Paul Watson with 17. You had Cracchietto with 9.
Definitely a different area of college basketball.
Absolutely. By the way, future NBAer Patrick McCaw for the UNLV squad, scoring 28 that night, was the guy who Fresno State was trying to settle on down at UNLV. Derek Jones Jr., is it that Derek Jones Jr. on this roster? Derek Jones Jr.
Maybe.
From UNLV? UNLV fame?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, Clippers forward, Derek Jones Jr. Yeah, that Derek Jones Jr. was playing in that game that night. Let me go back to that box score real quick. 14 points. Yeah. Future NBA or current NBA or Derek Jones Jr. for the UNLV Running Rebels sitting there with 14 points that night, and it wasn't enough for Mr. Jones Jr. So, all right, let's go to number 2.
Number 2.
You're going to love this one. Because a lot of history with this one, I would say, in what this also, like I said, continuing to cement the signaling of where this team was going. and the important moments of this basketball program, and none more important than maybe getting the first ranked win at Save Mart Center ever. And this is back on January 4th of 2015, year before the Fresno State Bulldogs win the Mountain West. This is the season before that, and they end up beating number 25th ranked San Diego State 59-57. And it was almost a wire-to-wire win for the Bulldogs in this game, building a early lead. Caraccietto with a big-time slam in that game. I remember that. They were up 40-23 at a certain point, Jorge, with 13:35 to go. And you would think up 17 with 13:35 to go, you would feel like you could cruise to a certain win. Well, I was in that building when that happened, and guess what San Diego State did when it was 40-23? They went on a 17-0 run and tied the game at 40, just like that. In a 5-minute stretch, lead gone, just like that. And so we had a ball game at 40 apiece with about 8 minutes to go. But the Bulldogs with three-pointers from Marvell Harris, Julian Lewis, Paul Watson make it happen. They knock off San Diego State, and it becomes the first ranked win for Bulldogs at Save Mart Center. A seminal moment at the Save Mart Center for sure. And also, it ended a 47-game winning streak for San Diego State against California schools. Go figure that, right? 47 wins in a row San Diego State had beaten California teams in the state of California, until Fresno State knocked them off that day with Marvell Harris finishing with 25 points. I know it's not a season where the Bulldogs end up winning a title in the Mountain West, but a ranked win at Save Mart Center, that's the pinnacle of what you look for from this Bulldog squad. And with all of these battles with San Diego State, this certainly has to go to the top of the list for me. That's why it's at number 2. Jorge, ranked win, got to make it on this list, I would imagine.
Definitely. I think that because, one of our biggest rivals is San Diego State, and I think that when getting that win from them, it's crucial. A lot of wins against San Diego and UNLV here, because I feel like they're the two that are the most constantly on top of on basketball, right?
They seem like our biggest rivals, I would say, right? If you consider the basketball standpoint, what we've been able to do, Fresno State, regarding that seems to be the teams that you have to beat in battle in this conference. But this is my first entry to San Diego State. Are you alluding to you already know what number 1 is? I would imagine, right?
Well,
if I'm not taking illicit drugs here, let's play the imaging real quick for number 1.
Number 1.
You already know. You already know what it's got to be. Taking you back, March 12th, 2016. Jorge, exactly 10 years today. 10 years ago, Fresno State wins its one and only Mountain West title in the sport of basketball with the Mountain West Championship and beating San Diego State 68-63. I was in the building for this basketball game. I was in Vegas when I saw it all go down on a matinee evening. Kevin Harlan on the call, Reggie Miller on the sideline with the call as well. And it just felt like a sticky basketball game, a tight basketball game. San Diego State would have a little bit of a run, but Fresno State would find a way to just kind of stay with it here, stay with it in this game. And Marvell Harris hitting a buzzer beater 3 to only cut it to 3 at that point. San Diego State had its opportunities, and then just a little bit of a run. San Diego State misses a couple shots at the end. Julian Lewis is such a fascinating figure in this game because he did nothing. He was one of the worst games I've ever seen Julian Lewis play until he was 1 for 9, Jorge, in that game. But his 5 free throw makes at the very end, he was the one that was fouled towards the tail end of the game. His 5 free throw makes ends up being the difference because the Bulldogs end up winning by 5, and Julian Lewis was the guy that iced it out for the Fresno State Bulldogs. Defensively, the Dogs got a couple stops on the other end, and it's funny how life works, right? When you are the guy who can't make a shot the entire game, I remember that just like what's happening to this guy. and then he ends up hitting the free throws that are so clutch for the Bulldogs to win it. I'll always think of it as the Julian Lewis game. I know Marvell Harris gets all the pub for what he did and his 18 points, and rightfully so. Certainly feel like the flowers he got because he was a Conference Player of the Year, and he is always going to be a Bulldog legend. But I just think of those Julian Lewis foul shots that he made to put the game out of reach, and the Bulldogs heading to the NCAA tournament where they eventually faced Utah and lost that first round. But regardless, it was an awesome moment for Bulldog fans. I will never forget being in the building, I was running the basketball band at the time, and I had the opportunity to lead that band during the game and call the songs that were being played out. And when I got a chance and saw that hit zero, and I pointed at my drummer to play that fight song, that was one of the happiest moments I've ever had as a Fresno State fan, and I could never be prouder of being part of that experience. So, obviously, Jorge, the Mountain West Championship in 2016, literally 10 years ago today, has to be number one.
Definitely number one. A little bit of hardware only hardware that was able to be captured during this Mountain West tenure of Fresno State. But definitely one of the seasons and one of the games that is remembered by every fan that of the Bulldogs in a long time. That I remember that I wasn't in school yet, but I remember watching it on TV and seeing all the stuff that was happening, all the news, and thinking, wow, maybe we could make something out of this. And
we almost kind of did.
We kind of did, yeah. But then
gave Utah a little run.
Yeah. It was good. It was good seeing them because I don't think I've seen them in the tournament since before that, and since the
days
early
of 2001.
The early 2000s against Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And,
I was in high school.
I'll admit that my buddy, we recorded that game, and we have a God help us if Google goes down ever. We have a Google Drive of that game. We share it, and I sometimes go back and look at that. And me just realizing today that it is the 10th anniversary of that game, I legit might go home and just skim that game a little bit and just watch it again because it's such a fun game to go back and revisit.
Posting online. And
should I do that? Yeah.
Post some highlights online.
Post some highlights, do a little mixtape of that basketball game 10 years ago today.
For the 10th anniversary.
Wow. Am I the first one to realize that? I haven't seen any tweets about that 10 years ago. Fresno State won the Mountain West in basketball. Ain't that something? So, oh no, hey, all right, Stephen Hicks. He might have been listening because he posted about 14 minutes ago.
Yeah, he probably wasn't.
Yeah, I bet you he took that, huh? Steven, if you're out there, you got my number. Let me know. Were you listening? Were you hearing me? All right. Let's play that outro, and I got some honorable mentions for you.
That was Phil's 5 at 5.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that didn't make the list, but I just wanted to acknowledge it here real quick throughout the years. So I'll go real quick. You remember January 9, 2013, Fresno State lost to 16th ranked San Diego State, 65-62, but thought it was a valiant effort, and I do believe that was the Tark retirement game. And there was a big-time sellout at the Save Mart Center, and that place was packed beyond belief. So I believe that has to make – it's my only loss I have on the list is that game against 16th-ranked San Diego State and Tark getting his jersey retired. And then I know shortly thereafter I believe he passed away, which is just remarkable that Fresno State was able to have him have that moment before, he left us at that time. So I remember that game. This isn't a Mountain West opponent, but in the era, how about November 8th, 2013, Allen Huddleston hitting a half-court buzzer beater against UC Irvine in overtime to win 98-97. Something like a 40-foot just past the half court. And I believe I read something that he got interviewed on ESPN SportsCenter that night after buzzer beating UC Irvine in that game. Stan Verrett, the SportsCenter anchor, was interviewing him on that shot because I think it was like a coast-to-coast, big opening night basketball blowout, and Fresno State was featured in a game with UC Irvine. So it just so happened that the stars aligned, and Fresno State had one of its big shots of that era. February 24th, 2016, Fresno State was wins by one over Air Force. They go on a 12-0 run to close out the final 2 minutes, Jorge. They were down 63 to 51 or 52, and they go 12-0 in the final 2 minutes and win that game by one, and stealing one with Air Force. March 9th, 2017, Fresno State beats New Mexico in a thrilling game, and Deshaun Taylor, kind of the next guy that stepped up and took over the mantle for Marvell Harris. And we remember how awesome Deshaun Taylor was. He had 21. That was an opening round matchup in the Mountain West tournament. How about March 6, 2019? More Deshaun Taylor love. Fresno was down 6 with just 1 minute to go against San Diego State, and they end up winning 76-74 with Deshaun Taylor rallying the comeback there for the Bulldogs against San Diego State. And lastly, how about a few years ago, March 9th, 2022, Fresno State in the Mountain West tournament, 69-62 overtime win as Jordan Campbell hitting a buzzer beater in the first round of the tournament for the matchup with the Bulldogs. And they end up beating our bitter rivals, San Jose State, in a game in the Mountain West tournament. Our last big-time Mountain West, I think, is that our last Mountain West tournament win? I got to believe it might be from 2022. That Orlando Robinson team that I'm remembering. So Jordan Campbell at the buzzer to beat San Jose State back in Vegas in 22. So there you go. Good list, Jorge. Good list, huh?
Yeah, good list. I have one more for you.
Yeah.
And that's November 10th, 2019, when the Paul George retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
That was a win against Winthrop. They went into the last minute and they scored I can't remember who was the one that scored, but they scored a 3-pointer to win the game, and everybody went wild because it wasn't a packed house, but it was pretty full, you know, and everybody wanted to see Paul George, and he was on the sidelines with a bunch of his Clipper teammates at the time, and Clipper owner was there too.
Steve Ballmer, yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of one of those games that you remember. It wasn't a great game, but the ending was good. The ending was definitely good.
Yeah, certainly. Great list. We're going to miss the Mountain West a little bit. And now we move to the Pac-12 because
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap up this show next on 1430 ESPN, Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting Megaprints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, Megaprints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work and what we can do for your business.
Cyber criminals stole $10 trillion from U.S. businesses last year. Did you know that 75% of businesses hit with ransomware do not survive? Is your company protected? Could your company survive a real-time cyber attack? Get a free consultation from M-Cubed Technologies today. Our team of cyber professionals are here to help and protect you from this real threat. Don't fall victim to cybercrime and risk losing your business. Contact M-Cubed Technologies today at mcubedtechnologies.com.
The brackets are heating up, and it's the perfect time to call time out for lunch. Head to Toledo's Mexican restaurant for their lunch special, just $16.99, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Your choice of soup or salad, a fountain drink, and your favorite entree like enchiladas, tacos, burritos, or tamales. All served with rice and refried beans. Toledo's with 3 locations serving Fresno and Clovis. Make